We're going on the air.
The line, Jason Crowder.
Good afternoon and welcome to South Mississippi on the campus of Jones College here in Ellisville, Mississippi, where today it's for all the marbles in MACJC play. EMCC finds itself once again for the third straight year in the MACJC state championship game, but they have to go on the road to be able to claim a ring for the third straight year in this great conference that's the best conference in all of JUCO football in the National Junior College Athletic Association. Jones is warming up to our right, and they're going to have to do a little bit more jogging and running around to warm up, as our temperature says it's 51 degrees currently, but it feels about like 40 when that wind starts swirling. As we have 10 to 15 mile per hour winds, we'll get a weather report and field conditions report from Glenn Beard here in just a moment. I'm Jason Crowder along with Jonathan Holmes. EMCC is in their locker room going over some final instructions as we're less than 30 minutes away from the opening kick of this MACJC state championship game. This is not the first time that EMCC has met Jones for a state championship. The last time they did so, it was a 61-24 win by EMCC. In 2013, the Lions just dominated that ball game and would go on to win the national championship. To win a national championship and a state championship a season ago, EMCC had to go through Jones as well. The Lions winning 24-20, the final score, as EMCC goes on to win the state and national championship. These two teams are no strangers to one another. Buddy Stevens is 7-2 against Jones in his career in Scuba, Mississippi. Jonathan Holmes joins me now, and the scary thing about Jones today, not only are you playing on the road, but Jones last beat EMCC here when it was a 27-25 final score. However, Jones did beat EMCC's freshman squad. That was the MACJC penalized game where none of the sophomores could play anybody that had anything to do with the brawl against Mississippi Delta in 2015. So EMCC still was punished the next year by being held out of the national championship, even though they won the state championship. That started the first of hopefully 3 straight state championship rings. But Jones is going to be a confident group. They're pretty good. They're ranked number 7 in the country, and they've got a defense that can come out here and be opportunistic and put their offense in good situations to be able to upset EMCC, which is ranked number 1 in the country.
Yeah, they've got a defensive line that can get back and rush the quarterback, and that puts the linebackers with an opportunity to cover those short passes. So it makes it more difficult, not only for a quarterback to have time to throw the ball, but to throw the ball accurately across the middle of the field.
Let's go down to the field. Across the way from us on EMCC sideline is our third member of the broadcast crew, Glenn Beard. Glenn, 10 to 15 mile per hour winds. It's going to make it feel a lot colder than 51 degrees. Our expected high is to be 52 today as the cold front came through. And along with the cold front brought some rain. This is a grass surface here down in Ellisville, Mississippi. Give us a little weather update and also the conditions of the field.
Thank you, Jason. Down here on the field, it is a little bit windy, but that is helping to dry the surface. Those winds, 15 to 20 miles an hour, as you said. We are at about 52 degrees. It should hold at that temperature a little while longer. Of course, when the sun starts to go down, it will begin to cool off dramatically. It is football weather in November. It's outstanding. The field has held up rather well, considering the fact that there has been several inches of rain this week. However, as I said earlier, the wind is helping to dry that surface. Overall, there are no just soggy, wet spots. It is a little bit tender, but it's not spongy as we've seen in the past. For example, a couple weeks ago up in Boonville when it was like you were walking across a wet sponge. Today it is just a little bit soft. There will be some grip issues at times as the game goes on, but right now everything's holding up rather well.
Glenn, before we bring it back up here to the booth, let's get your take on this one. Do you feel like the pressure is on Coach Boykin and this EMCC offense today to be able to come out here and get things done because of the fact that that may be the matchup with Jones's defense is the area to watch for in this afternoon's contest?
Yeah, Jason, defensively, Jones is very good. Dwight Wilson, I go back with him a long ways, all the way back to the ICC. We coached together. He has done an outstanding job. As you said earlier, this defense is rather stingy. However, in my opinion, I think it's a matter of East Mississippi playing within themselves. Don't try to press too much. Take what they're giving you, because I can tell you this, Dwight will give you some things. You just have to be smart and find it at the right time. He likes to bring pressure from the corners, especially from the short side of the field. And, of course, I'm sure Buddy Stevens and Coach Boykin have scouted that out, but that's just me. I know Dwight. But if you'll pay attention to that and trust your sight adjustment, if DeWeaver will see his sight adjustments right there, he could have a big day just on the check downs because they're going to bring pressure a good bit, especially on the early downs. Third down, they'll bluff and drop back in and play coverage, and you can get some cheap ones right there too if you'll just be patient. So they got to play within themselves, and of course defensively, East Mississippi, if they'll play what they're supposed to do defensively, they can get some big turnovers. This Jones offense will turn the ball over if you'll just be patient and force the pressure a little bit.
All right, thank you, Glenn. Appreciate that report. Down on the field, stay warm for us. It's chilly here in the booth as well with these windows open. That wind swirls in, so it's football weather. We're not going to complain because we remember back in August and September sweating in the booth, and we'd rather wear our jackets and be comfortable than sweating and being hot. Jonathan, before we kick it to break, special teams could be big today, and it could affect kicking as far as this 10 to 15 mile per hour wind that's swirling here in the stadium.
Yeah, the wind is blowing primarily from the left to the right. If you take a look at the flags that are right on top of the goalpost, the left side of the field is going to get quite a bit of wind. The ball's going to hang up if you're trying a field goal on that end. And the thing about EMCC special teams is they're rush teams. Their punt rush team, their block team is exceptional. They've blocked several punts. However, it has been several games since they've got their hands on one. So that's maybe a big key for tonight's game.
Thank you, Jonathan. We'll have more with Jonathan and Glenn a little bit later on in the pregame show. But next, we're going to take a look at the starting lineups for the East Mississippi Community College Lions trying to defend their state championship. They won it in 2016, 2017. Are they going to win it in 2018? We'll find out in a couple of hours. Kickoff is coming up at the top of the hour. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. Welcome back inside the stadium here in Jones. We are getting set for the MACJC State Championship game. EMCC trying to go for state championship number 3 in a row. Let's take a look at the starting offense for EMCC. They'll start at quarterback, number 10, Messiah DeWeaver, the 6'5", 230-pound sophomore, is out of Dayton, Ohio. He's 158 of 226 this season. 70% completion rate. That's pretty good. He's improved since the first part of the season. He's thrown for 1,603 yards. That's 160 yards a game with 10 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Dion McIntosh is less than 50 yards away from getting to 1,000 on the season. He's 165 carries on the year for 969 yards, rather. That's good for 97 yards a game. He has a 6-yard average per carry, and he's scored 16 touchdowns on the ground this year for the Lions. That's your quarterback and backfield. Your wideouts at slot receiver, it's number 7, Braden Boykin. The 5', 760-pound sophomore from Madison Central High School will start along with Adrian Miller. Those two will be lined up on the same side of the line of scrimmage. Adrian Miller out of West Marion High School, a 6', 175-pound sophomore who has 21 receptions for 435 yards and 3 touchdowns on the year. On the other side of the line, on the formation, it's number 2, Kalen Reddix in the slot position. He's 6'2", 210, a sophomore from South Mississippi, St. Martin High School to be exact, with 48 receptions, 435 yards. He also has 3 touchdowns through the air. Ontario Drummond, right here in the Ellisville area. Laurel High School is where he played his high school ball. 6'2", 200-pound sophomore with 46 receptions, 686 yards. That leads the team in yardage. As far as receptions, he averages 14 yards per catch. That's also best on the team, and he's a team best 9 touchdowns through the air. And that's a look at your skill positions on offense. Now that offensive line, the Hogs up front from left to right. Tackle will start with number 50-60, Anthony Page. 6'4", 275, a sophomore from Laurel High School, so he's playing nearby. Left guard, number 55, Matt Toll. 6', 305, a sophomore from Lafayette County High School. At center, it's number 54, Connor Reinecke. 6'1", 305, a sophomore from Starkville High School. At right guard, number 58, Bailey Trusty. 6'2", 295, a freshman from Grenada High School. And at right tackle, number 51, Jacoby Jones. 6'3", 310, a sophomore also from Starkville High School. And that's a look at the offensive unit. Now let's go to the defensive side of the football. At left end, it's number 47, Eric Kitchen. 6'2", 250, a sophomore from South Panola High School. 48 tackles on the year, 13 and a half tackles for loss, 1 fumble recovery, and 2 pass breakups. Your interior part of the defensive line is anchored by number 99, Darrell Middleton, 6'7", 290, a freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee. 22 tackles on the year, 6.5 tackles for loss. Your nose guard's number 93, Kane Taylor, 6'3", 290, a sophomore from Clearwater, Florida. 27 tackles on the year, 4.5 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. At right end, it's number 95, Everett Cunningham, 6'3", 250, a sophomore from West Point High School. With 46 tackles, 13 sacks, 19 tackles for loss, and 3 forced fumbles. Your linebacking unit from strong to weak side. At strong side, it's number 42, E.J. Woods. 5'11", 205, a freshman from Natchez High School with 33 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 interception. Your middle linebackers, number 32, Ontario Johnson, 6'1", 230, a sophomore from Coahoma County AHS. He has 59 tackles on the year with 10 for loss and 1 pass breakup. Your weak side linebacker is the leading tackler on the team. Number 4, Fred Hervey, 5'11", 215, a freshman from Charleston High School, 78 tackles, 4 sacks, 13.5 tackles for loss, and 1 pick. And your secondary at quarterback, number 6, Kilo Sweeney, 6', 185, a sophomore from Yazoo County High School with 22 tackles, 1 fumble recovery, and 3 interceptions. Free safeties, number 27, Josh Miller, 5'11", 190, a sophomore from West Marion High School, 42 stops on the year with 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, 3 forced fumble recoveries, and also an interception. At strong safety, it's number 17, Joseph Anderson, 6'3", 200, a sophomore from Puckett High School with 33 tackles on the year, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 interception. And at cornerback, it's number 9, Jaquez Akins, 5'10", 190, a sophomore from Starkville High School with 34 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, 1 fumble recovery, and 3 interceptions. That's a look at the defensive unit. Now let's look at our specialists. Our place kicker is number 35, Josh Smith, 5'9", 165, a freshman from Tupelo High School. He's 5 of 7 this year. He hasn't kicked a lot of kicks. As far as from the field, he has a long of 47, but he has kicked a lot of extra points, 54 of 56 on the year. Josh Smith will also be our kickoff specialist. And the punter goes to number 36, Johnny Moss, 6 foot 150, a freshman from Germantown High School, 26 punts, 954 yards, 37-yard average with a long of 49, and he's pinned 9 inside the 20. Your punt returner is DJ Clayton, 5'9", 175, a sophomore from Kemper County High School, and he'll also be your kick returner with 13 returns for 354 yards. That's a 27.2-yard average. Your long snapper is number 39, Brett Burton, 6'1", 195, a freshman from Ocean Springs High School, and your holder is number 29, CJ Kohler, 5'9", 175, a sophomore from Columbus High School. That's a look at the starting lineups for EMCC. We were never given a two-deep for Jones, so we have no idea who they're going to be starting today, but I could go ahead and tell you that more than likely they're going to be starting Stetson Bennett, a redshirt freshman quarterback who has 120 completions out of 209 attempts for 57.4%. He's thrown for over 1,400 yards, 149 a game. He's also thrown 15 touchdowns on the year to 10 interceptions. He has a long of 73. His quarterback efficiency is at 131.5, and rushing on the year, it's probably going to be Kalen Granberry, who's also a freshman, who has 208 carries. That's double anybody else on the team with 1,192 yards. He averages a $119.2 on the ground, 6 yards per carry with 9 touchdowns on the ground, a long of 77. Has fumbled it 9 times and has lost 7 of those fumbles. We're assuming he will be the starting running back today. We'll take a look at some of their wideouts. Emmanuel Jones, also Junquarius Patterson are 2 of the better players. Emmanuel Jones with 40 receptions on the year for 466 yards. He has 3 touchdowns through the year. Patterson also with 3 touchdowns through the year, averaging 9 yards per catch. He has 26 receptions on the season. Gabe Douglas has 24 receptions. Notorian Watts with 19. You've got also Dontavius Porter with 12 receptions, and those are the guys with double-digit receptions. Those will be the guys you'll see mostly at wideout. Christopher Thompson will be kicking. He's 9 of 13 on the season with a long of 51. Has scored 69 points this year, is 42 of 45 on extra points. And Greg Hayden will be the punter. He has punted 36 times for 1,412 yards, averaging 39 yards per kick. He has kicked one 64 yards. That's his long, and he has pinned 18 inside the 20. And that's a look at some of the possible stars for Jones in this game. Jones, by the way, is no longer Jones Junior College, Jones County Junior College, that is. They have changed their name to Jones College. And right there at midfield, there's a gold JC with a maroon outline, and that's the colors that Jones is going to be wearing today with the maroon tops. They'll have the gold pants and the maroon helmets. It looks a lot like USC. And EMCC, we saw them with gray pants on just a bit ago. We'll have to see their uniform combo when they come back out. When we return in 3 minutes, we'll talk further about these two teams as we'll give you a stats comparison. This is the EMCC Football Network.
right, JC fans, it's time to make some noise.
Welcome back to Ellisville, Mississippi. We've just had our invocation and the playing of our national anthem as we are less than 10 minutes away from the opening kick of the MACJC title game. EMCC trying to go for 3 straight. Let's take a look at a stats comparison between these two teams on offense and defense. We'll first start with EMCC offensively. EMCC averages 432 total yards of offense per game. 180 of those come on the ground, 251 through the air. They score 44 points per contest. EMCC has scored 20 touchdowns through the air and 31 on the ground. And, of course, they're led by Dion McIntosh with 16 rushing touchdowns on the season. Jones offensively, 381 yards total per game, just a $191 on the ground and 190 through the air. So they're a balanced offense that scores 36 points per contest. They have 18 passing touchdowns and 22 on the ground. Defensively for EMCC, they give up 203 yards per game, 86 of those on the ground, 117 through the air. They give up just 11.1 points per contest. EMCC defensively has tackled folks 106 times behind the line of scrimmage, 14 pickoffs, 27 pass breakups, and they've only given up 7 touchdowns through the air and 5 on the ground. On the flip side for Jones, they give up 267 yards per game. 107 of those come on the ground, 159 through the air. They've given up 14 passing touchdowns, 11 rushing touchdowns. They have sacked the quarterback 27 times, 116 tackles for loss, 11 interceptions on the year, and 18 pass breakups. And that's a look at a stats comparison between EMCC and Jones defensively. Jonathan, when you kind of listen to those stats, what do you think is going to be the key for either team today in this game?
Well, one of the big keys is going to be third down conversions. For East Mississippi, they've been pretty fair throughout the year getting those first downs off third down conversions. So you're going to want to run into third down and short, third down and 3 or so you've got an opportunity to open up the playbook. You're also going to look at punting. I think punting the ball, especially on these cold days when the receivers are like catching cement blocks when the quarterback fires the football out there, you're going to have an opportunity to pin the other team deep inside the 20-yard line, and that's going to be a big key. Jones College is very good at that now. The Bobcats, 18 times they've pinned the opponents inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, we're all going to slip up and make that mistake today because there's a big JC out there, and they used to be Jones County Junior College. Now it's just Jones College. Let's go down on the field to the 25-yard line. He's between the numbers and the sideline across the way from us. It's Glenn Beard. He's our sideline reporter. Glenn, read out the stats a moment ago. Got Jonathan's thoughts. Your thoughts when you hear those stats read out. What do you think favors either team today?
Well, Jason, I think it's going to come down to turnovers. The team that can hang on to the football the most. Both teams are very strong defensively. So it's going to come down to the turnover game. Who can control the football? Who can make the fewest mistakes on offense? And also, I think our special teams will be a factor. It is quite breezy. So when the opportunity presents itself to flip the field with the wind, you've got to take care of that. But when you've got to kick into the wind, those punters and kickers are going to have to lower their drops and try to drive the ball. So that could be a factor. And, Jason, Dwight Wilson and I used to have a saying when we were coaching at ICC together, the greatest sound in football was bump, bump, ah. And that was the punter punting the football and then somebody blocking it and then the crowd going wild. So if you can get one of those sounds to go for your side, that could be a determining factor.
When we return, we'll take a look at some scores around college football. We'll also have the coin toss for you, and kickoff is on the way. You're listening to the EMCC pregame show on the Lions Football Network. And we're back here inside the stadium on the campus of Jones College in Ellisville, Mississippi. The captains for Jones making their way out to midfield. The captains for EMCC also making their way out to midfield. The captains will shake hands, and the white hat will give instructions, and we'll have the coin toss. And Glenn Beard is down on the field right now for all of the action.
Executive Secretary for the Mississippi Community College Presidents Association and Athletic Commissioner.
Thank you, Jason. The captains are meeting here at midfield. And the white hat is about to explain the rules and have the coin toss, so let's listen in.
Coach Southward is going to flip the coin, okay? He's commissioner of all the officials and all the coaches. Okay, I'm going to wait on him in 1 second. He's going to come here and flip the coin.
As a football player at Northeast Mississippi Community College. After completing his college education,
Commissioner Jim Southward being honored here at midfield. He's also going to bring the coin toss. He's got the coin in his pocket, so the referee can't go any further with the coin toss. So we'll get Coach Southward in here, and he'll flip it. Coach, good to see you.
Mississippi Delta was chosen as
Like, give me just a second.
This side is going to be the heads.
Southward compiled a 54-37 record.
Stationed with their crew.
Including 2
This side will be the tails. Okay.
You called heads.
All right.
Show us heads. Gonna
Jones College celebrates
That's
the
heads
career
right there,
of Jim
okay?
Southward at this
Tails.
state championship game
All right, we're
today.
ready to go, guys.
Heads.
He will be presented a plaque in appreciation for his influence in helping MACJC athletics
No,
become
receive.
a true league
Receive.
of champions.
We want the ball received.
Okay. He said receive.
And he said receive very clearly. We heard it all the way up here in the press box.
All right. Well, East Mississippi won the toss, elected to receive, which, semantics defer to the second half. But anyway, they'll take the football here in just a moment. They want to set the tone. That's what the offense likes to do. Anytime Coach Stevens can get the ball and score first, that sets a tone for the rest of the game. So here we go, guys.
Thank you, Glenn, for that report down on the field. We've had the coin toss. EMCC has won the toss and elected to receive. And Glenn talked about setting the standard here and kind of setting the tone a little bit. And that's what Buddy Stevens and Coach Boykin want to do. They want to be able – when you got an offense, it's as powerful and as good as EMCC. Now, granted, they're going to be facing a defense that's tough. They haven't seen a lot of defenses like this in North Division play, but still very capable. EMCC wants to come out and score first. I think maybe a lot of times you think the safe way is to elect to take the second half kickoff, but EMCC has proven many times they can go down the field and score on the opening drive, and as Glenn said, that does set the tone. You don't want to get a 3 and out here. If you don't score, you want to be able to move the chains a little bit and get some field position for your defense.
Yeah, the 2 most important drives of this first half are the opening kick. I can't stand that thing in my mouth.
Sorry.
The opening kick, receiving the ball and driving it down, and then the drive right before halftime.
All right, we're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. Is running out onto the field across the way from us. They're going to be wearing their all gray uniforms with white numbers and the white helmets with the red EM logo on each side, the red stripe down the middle and the red face mask. Jones wearing their USC uniforms, wearing the gold pants with the maroon tops. It looks more reddish, and they've got the red top. Seriously, if you know what USC's uniforms look like, that's Jones. Just picture that. Of course, they've got, instead of a Trojan head logo on each side, they have the gold JC. And so we're getting set for the kickoff as Christopher Thompson's going to come out, and he's going to squeeze the football. He's going to tee it up at the 35-yard line. And, man, this wind is whipping. You could hear it during the coin toss when Glenn was down there. Now EMCC's kick return team with DJ Clayton and Keon Moore is going to come out onto the field.
Another thing we're going to be battling is the public address system. Normally it's on top of the building blowing out, but now it's down on the track blowing and aimed right directly toward us here at the press box.
Correction, Keon Moore is going to be one of the upbacks. It's going to be Dontario Drummond near hash at the 5-yard line to return this kick, and it's going to be a high sky kick that the wind's going to catch, and an upback's going to run up under it around the 43-yard line across the way and make the fair catch, and that's Fred Hervey, who's going to get EMCC started at our own 43-yard line. Glenn, that was a tough kick into the wind. I think if they would have kicked it deep, it would have still been short.
Yeah, guys, that was a very tough kick. It got in the air. It was coming straight at me, and the wind was blowing it, and it blew it to the sideline, and we caught it as we were going out of bounds. That was one of those, it was going to land out of bounds. But anyway, we caught it. The wind is brutal down here, guys.
Thank you, Glenn. 15 minutes has been put up on the clock as we're getting set for the first offensive snap of the game with twin receivers either side of the field. Ball's going to be placed on the left hash with the Lions moving from left to right. Weaver takes a snap of the shotgun, is going to hand it off to McIntosh. He goes straight up the middle. He maybe gets a half yard, and now the officials are running in and saying no gain, so it's going to be 2nd down and 10 to go. Chai Hill is going to come up and make a tough stop there for Jones, as it's now 2nd down and 10, and that's what you want to do, Jonathan. You want to keep EMCC playing in a 2nd, 3rd, and long and behind the sticks even.
The nose guard and the defensive tackle, probably one of the big strengths for Jones College.
The snap from the 43-yard line to DeWeaver has a big grain of grass around the near side, gets out across the 50, walks out of bounds inside Jones territory, out at the 48-yard line. So he is going to gain 13 on the play, and it's going to be enough for a 1st down.
DeWeaver did not hesitate that time when he took the ball in the pocket, started to close from his backside. He took off to the right, had plenty of green grass and did the right thing, got what he could. 1st down, EMCC.
Correction, a gain of 10. So DeWeaver's going to be in the shotgun. He's going to have McIntosh flanked to his right, trips to the left, wide side of the field. The snap, inside handoff to McIntosh, and he turns up the middle, and he's going to get about 2 yards on the carry. He's going to get down to the 46-yard line, so that's going to be enough for 2nd down and 8 as Nick Anderson will come up to make the tackle for the Bobcats.
Anderson in that left side of the linebacking crew stayed home that time. So when McIntosh tried to do what he does so very well, and that's cut back against the grain, they were there to stop him.
2nd down and a long 8 with trips wide side of the field to the left, ball on the near hash. DeWeaver looks to the left, now instructs the receiver to come in motion. That's Drummond. He's looking to the left on the snap, now rolls to the right, carrying the football, pump fakes, and he's going to walk out of bounds and then be hit as soon as he's going out of bounds at midfield. It's not enough to garner a flag, and he's going to lose about 3 or 4 on the play. Spotted the football was close to the 46 of the Bobcats, and he walks out of bounds right at midfield, so it is going to be a 3rd down and long, for EMCC.
The sophomore defensive back, Jamar Richardson, was holding on that play. One of our receivers that was trying to come across the middle of the field. That looked like who DeWeaver was looking for. That receiver never developed any type of openness, and he was forced to run the ball out of bounds.
3rd down and a long 12 with twin receivers either side. Reddick's in motion from left to right. That's far side to near. Back to pass to Weaver. Screen pass. It's caught by McIntosh, but he's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage at the 49-yard line. It was thrown towards the left side, and Jones comes up big defensively as Dalen Gill sniffs it out and knocks him off his feet, and EMCC is going to have to punt from their own 48-yard line.
Bobcats really good on covering, especially on that 3rd down. He had to check down to the 3rd option there, and he was hit at the line of scrimmage. McIntosh was for no gain. EMCC forced to punt, and an opportunity to flip the field here with the wind behind him.
Emmanuel Jones will stand at his own 10-yard line. Here's the snap back, and it's going to be dropped by Moss. He tries to kick it, and it's going to be blocked inside the 40. Picked up by Jones. They rumble inside the 35, tackled from behind at the 34-yard line. And what a disastrous series of events for EMCC on 3rd down on offense and then trying to punt it away on 4th down. Coming up with the fumble, the block's going to be Deshaun Crawford, and Bimby is Marquez Bimby is going to come up with the fumble recovery or the block kick at the 34-yard line.
Several weeks ago in that rain game, we had 2 or 3 punts that went right through the hands of the punter and got him in the stomach. That same thing happened there. It looked like he's taking his eye off the ball and looking for the rush.
Coming out to play quarterback is Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett is a 6', 185-pounder from Blackshear, Georgia. It'll be a pistol formation. He turns and hands it off to his tailback, who goes around the right side. He's going to try to get to the sideline and turn downfield, and I think he maybe gets the 33-yard line. That's going to be Kalen Granberry, the freshman who has 119 yards a game on the ground. He's accounted for 1,192. Jaquez Akins is going to ride his back out of bounds inside the 35-yard line, close to the 33. Maybe about a half-yard gain. Ball on the right hash. Looking at the near sideline is Bennett. Bennett is your quarterback. Twin receivers either side. Granberry, the tailback, is going to be flanked off the right shoulder of the quarterback, Bennett. 11:35 to go in the first quarter. It's going to be a tall sweep over on the right side to Granberry. Tries to cut down the numbers across the way from us and maybe gets just inside the 33. So EMCC, big defensively the first 2 downs. It's going to bring up 3rd down as Josh Miller and Everett Cunningham's going to come up to make the stop.
Putting in the rush guy, actually the nickel package as Ontario Johnson goes to the sideline, bringing in an extra defensive back. Jones pretty good throwing the ball this year, but it is 3rd down and 9, and that's where the EMCC defense wants to hold Jones County to here in these 3rd down situations.
So after back-to-back half-yard gains, it's now 3rd down and 9 from their own 33, or from the Lion 33. Firing it over on the left side, it's caught inside the, incomplete. He didn't hold on. The intended receiver was just inside the 20-yard line and couldn't hold on, and I think that's going to be Brody Keene.
Keene had jumped up for the ball. Quarterback threw it where only he could get to it. Just threw it just a touch too far. The ball went out of bounds, and it looks like Jones is going to punt. They're going to be punting into the wind, so look for some type of really high kick that's going to hit and hopefully get a roll for Jones.
Coming out to kick this one away is going to be Greg Hayden, who averages 39 yards per kick. Hayden's going to stand just out across his own 45. High snap, but he leaps up, pulls it down, and it's going to be a sidewinder. It's going to bounce just around the 10-yard line, and it's going to roll between the numbers and the hash near side inside the 5. They're going to down it around the 3-yard line. So EMCC will have it on their second offensive series. First down, 10 to go from their own 3.
I'm not so sure that Eric Kitchen didn't get a partial deflection on that as he rushed in, and the ball was punted low. Looked like it hit off his left hand and then started spinning, came back to the near side, and this is a really tough situation for EMCC starting at their own 3-yard line. The thing you've got to think about here is you don't want to get a hold in the end zone or a penalty in the end zone that will result in a safety. So DeWeaver's probably going to run a play to get rid of the ball pretty quickly and try to get EMCC some distance here away from that goal line.
4-man front with a deep safety. The snap from the 3 and the shotgun to DeWeaver. Inside handoff to McIntosh. Just tries to get some running room around the left side and gets out across the line of scrimmage up to maybe the 4-yard line. I don't know if he gained much, though, from this angle. It looked like he gained a yard, but he did not. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 to go. DeWeaver's going to be in the shotgun. McIntosh flanked to his right now. They've got twin receivers stacked on either hash across the way. Here's the snap. They look to the left side. It is caught by Drummond, and he tries to curl upfield once he caught it around the 4-yard line, and he gets to the 5 before he is tackled. And EMCC is going to have it now with a 3rd down and 8 situation after the gain of 2 on the pitch and catch by DeWeaver to Drummond across the way.
As Drummond tried to plant that left foot and turn upfield, his foot slipped out from under him, Jason. That's just a thing that both teams are going to have to deal with, especially along these sidelines.
So DeWeaver in the shotgun. He'll have McIntosh now flanked off to his left. Trips wide side of the field, near side. Spotted the football, their own 5, left hash. Looking left, firing it left for Drummond, and it is caught. Drummond gets it out across the 20-yard line. Oh, no, they say he dropped it. He had it in his hands for a couple of steps as he was going backwards, goes out of bounds, and all of a sudden the official says incomplete across the way. Glenn, you had a better view of it.
Yeah, Jason, Coach Stevens was wanting a catch right there. Drummond goes up with 2 hands and just big boy catches it and is backpedaling. However, when he came down to tuck it, the ball came out. But a couple of steps have already taken place, clearly controlling the football. It's just one of those things that went against the Lions.
Standing just inside his on back of the end zone is going to be Moss, and he gets it away, and it's going to roll out across the 45s. It takes a Lion roll as Emmanuel Jones is going to get out of the way, and it'll roll dead at the 44 over on the left hash, which is across the way from us. So EMCC will play defense, defending now 56 yards as Jones will have it at their own 44-yard line on the right hash, moving from right to left. 9:25 to go here in the first quarter. There is no score.
That wind took that ball in the punt. It was a nice spiral, but got some speed of it off the ball on the punt, and then the ball hit the ground and bounced about 15 or 20 yards. And a pretty nice turnaround of field position for EMCC.
As soon as we get time, we'll pass along some scores from around the Southeastern Conference in football action. Mississippi State about to kick off with Alabama. Ole Miss and Texas A&M played earlier today at 11 o'clock. Bennett calls for the football from his own 44, leaves it in the belly with Granberry, goes straight up the middle, and he's going to dance around to about the 47-yard line. So he's going to gain 3 yards on the play, and it's going to bring up now a 2nd down and 7 situation.
Yeah, the H-back went across the formation just as the ball was snapped, taking that linebacker out, which is what he wanted to do, and they were able to pick up 4 yards pretty easily there on 1st down.
9 minutes and counting here in the first quarter. Jones has 17 seconds to snap it. Bennett's going to be in the shotgun with twin receivers from near side. H-back's going to shift from right to left once again. Here's the snap of the shotgun to Bennett's going to leave it with Granberry, and Granberry's going to go, no, Bennett kept it, and he is going to be dropped, and he loses yardage back to the 43-yard line. Oh, goodness, that's a 4-yard loss, and it's Eric Kitchen who comes up with another tackle for loss. He had 13.5 coming in, giving 14.5, and now 49 tackles.
Kitchen is so good to get back there, and one thing that he does very well is when he gets the quarterback squared up, he does not miss him. He's going to drop him to the turf 90% of the time. A great tackle and brings up a big 3rd down. Jones College needs about 11 yards.
Correction, that's the 2nd tackle of the day for Kitchen. He has now 50 on the season. So 3rd down and 11 from their own 43. Bennett walks up to the line of scrimmage and shouts out some instructions, and now Jones wants to talk about it.
Timeout.
So Steve Buckley's like, hey, let's talk about this 3rd down and 11 play. They called the timeout with 7:59 to go in the first quarter. This is a big play defensively for EMCC. We'll return in 30 seconds. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. .59 to go in the first quarter, EMCC. And Jones with no score. Big offensive play here on 3rd down and 11 from their own 43 for Jones. They go trips near side. EMCC with 2 down linemen and 2 rush ends standing up on either side. The snap to Bennett. Everybody goes out for the pass. He throws it near side. It is caught at the 41-yard line of the Lions, and going out of bounds is Emmanuel Jones. Emmanuel Jones makes a big reception on in defense for EMCC with Jaquez Akins and Joseph Anderson. And it's a 1st down, and they're back inside EMCC territory. I thought he stepped out of bounds near the neighborhood of the 40. They're going to say he goes down at the 39. So nice pitch and catch, and now it's 1st down, 10 to go from the Lions' 39-yard line.
Stetson with a great toss there through where nobody was. Interestingly, he has one of those pocket hand warmers like Aaron Rodgers wears for the Packers.
The MCC show splits. They come after the quarterback, and they throw it complete near side as he throws between the numbers on the sideline. Making the reception for Jones is going to be Notorian Watts. Keelan Sweeney is going to make the tackle immediately as soon as he skies up and catches it. He had to climb the ladder to get that one, and Sweeney held on and brought him to the turf inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 5. 2nd and medium now for the Bobcats.
A lot of times you'll see defensive backs go up, try to make a play on the ball that they are not going to get to. Sweeney did a great job of reading that and just going for the safe tackle.
Pistol formation. Bennett will take the snap. He turns to his right, and he's going to hand it off to his tailback, who's going to fight for some yardage as he goes on the left end. And making the tackles, Eric Kitching. Dante Edwards is going to take the carry. He's a big running back, 5'9", 204 pounds out of Mobile, Alabama.
For Jones, Dontavius Porter, who's listed as a tight end, is actually the H-back. And that time he crashed the line of scrimmage and blew a hole open for the running back and made a nice read, picked up some good yards. It's 3rd down and short for Jones.
At the EMCC 31. Lions have those linebackers creeping up. They're showing pressure once again. Here's the snap to Bennett. They come after him, and they're going to knock him down from behind as he falls forward down to the 30-yard line. He's not going to have enough for the 1st down. He does gain a yard on the play on the quarterback keeper and making the tackle, Darryl Middleton.
Quarterback had the opportunity to keep that ball or to hand it off. He saw the crashing of the linebackers right in the center of the field, elected to keep the ball, brings up 4th down and short, and our first 4th down conversion attempt of the day.
Hey, it's going to be kicking into the wind, so Got to have some drama in a state championship game. Got to pull all the stops out if you're the underdog like Jones is. 4th down and 1 from the Lion 30. The snap to the quarterback is going to go straight up the middle, and he has some running room. He's going to be tripped up, so he gets inside the 25 down to the 23, and that was Jonathan Haynes, a sophomore defensive back who came in and took the snap at quarterback. Joseph Anderson's going to knock him off his feet.
Haynes is one of those real athletic guys that's got a lot of speed. Doesn't take much of a hole for him to slip through, and he picked up big yardage down inside the 25.
Bennett back at quarterback now with twins on either side of the formation. Ball spotted closer to the near hash inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. 1st down, 10 to go. Granberry's back out there at tailback. He's flanked off the right shoulder. That actually is going to still be Dante Edwards, I beg your pardon. Edwards is flanked off the left shoulder of Bennett. Tall sweep near side, and he tries to cut downfield between the numbers and the hash, and he's going to be down to the 20-yard line, so nice run. And as Joseph Anderson is going to make another tackle, and that'll bring up now 2nd down. 2nd down and 6 after the gain of 4 on the play.
Jones is bringing their offensive team to the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback's getting everybody set. And then he'll look over to the sidelines as the coordinator gets a chance to read the defense. And so far on this drive, he's done a nice job putting them in great play calls.
Edwards with 514 yards coming in. He plays well in the backup role with trips wide side. They throw it over the middle, tipped at the line of scrimmage, and I think it's still caught. No, incomplete. Fell to the turf around the 11-yard line. Nice attempt there that time by Jones as Fred. It's Daryl Middleton's going to break up the pass at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, that was athletic. He got up in the air. That ball, the quarterback, relatively quick read and fire the ball. Good job by Middleton getting that hand up and batting the ball down, but it was almost caught by Jones.
Gabe Douglas trying to catch it inside the 10-yard line. Couldn't get it to go. He's lined up now wide out to the right side. Twins either side. Ball's going to be on the near hash, moving from right to left towards that east end zone. Bennett takes a snap. Play action, pump fakes, rolls to his right on the bootleg, and he fires it out to Edwards, wide open in the flat. He's inside the 10, and he's going to cough up the football. EMCC has it. The Lions have it at the 5-yard line. Huge defensive play.
Yeah, you just have to be there, Jason, when something like that happens and look for the ball. The defensive backs made the tackle there, and the ball popped free around the 10-yard line and rolled down inside the 5.
Guys, outstanding play call right there on 3rd down and 6. The screen to the far sideline to the field side had an outstanding play, but big hit on this sideline. Jarred the ball loose, guys. I got so excited, I almost jumped on it myself.
All right, thank you, Glenn. EMCC now finds himself starting another drive at their own 5-yard line. Actually, they were at their own 3 to start the drive last time. Made it out to the 5-yard line before having to punt it away. DeWeaver's in the shotgun. McIntosh still out there. He's flanked to the right. Trips right, which is wide side of the field near side. DeWeaver with his heels on the goal line takes the snap. He's going to leave it with McIntosh, who goes around the left side, bottle up, and he's going to lose yardage back at the 2-yard line. He'll lose 3 yards, and that'll bring up now 2nd and 13 from their own 3.
Yeah, that's one of the difficult things about running the spread when you're backed up deep inside your own territory. The other team's just pinning their ears back and coming, and they're able to get you in the backfield. But this is the second time EMCC has started a possession from inside their own 10-yard line.
3rd and 13 from the 3-yard line. Their own 3. Twins either side. Lifting his right leg as DeWeaver takes a snap. He's going to be contacted in the end zone, but gets out of it and slides down at the 4-yard line. He'll gain a yard on the play, so that'll bring up now a 3rd down and 12 situation from their own 4.
EMCC being very careful there. You don't want to turn the ball over right back to Jones after you just picked up one. And EMCC's looking to just get some yardage here maybe and flip this field. They've got a tremendous wind behind their back for the punter.
I misspoke. It is now 3rd and 11, but we have a penalty flag that comes flying from the white hat, which is the back judge. Let's go down on the field to Glenn Beard.
Preliminary indications going to be against Jones. I think illegal substitution.
You're correct. It is against Jones, so it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. So it'll bring up now a 3rd and 6 situation, which is much better, and they have a little bit more room to breathe. They're not as deep in the shadow of their own goalposts. They're still kind of in that shadow, though, moving from left to right. The wind is at their back. 3:18 to go in the first quarter. The EMCC with a 3rd down and 6 situation from their own 9. Tripp stack Wide side of the field, near side. DeWeaver looks towards them, now looks back to the left with a single receiver with Drummond. He'll take the snap. He's back to pass, looking near side. Will fire it out in the flat. Wide open's Boykin, but he just misses him. Boykin tried to dive for it, and it one-hops him at the 16-yard line. He would have had the first down if he just can make the catch. If DeWeaver can get the ball there, that's more on Messiah DeWeaver not getting the ball out in the flat, throwing across his body.
Yeah, you're right, because that was the play, the defense that EMCC was looking for as Boykin was lined up on one of those bunch receiver situations on the right side of the formation. He just came down, went outside. When he came outside, the defender went inside. He was wide open. Had they gotten him the ball with some opportunity to stay on his feet, that was big yardage.
Low snap picked up by Smith, who is actually handling the punting duties today. Jones is going to back away from it. Taking on a one-hop, though, in between the 45 and 50. Tries to reverse his field and come around near side. He's running through gray jerseys, and they finally get him down inside the 40 at the 39-yard line. And how many times is Jones going to be living in EMCC territory with offensive possessions as Brett Burton, the deep snapper, is going to make the tackle? Once again, Johnny Moss not punting today. We're going to correct that. It's been Moss who's been punting, or excuse me, Smith who's been punting in place of Moss, the normal punter. And by the way, it's Smith with a 31.4-yard average as they're going to move the ball back to the 40. Both officials on either side ran in at the 39, but they're going to move it back to the 40-yard line. So first down, 2 to go from the Lion 40-yard line. Ball placed middle of the field for Jones. Granberry is back in the contest on this drive at tailback. They'll turn and they'll hand it to him. Comes around near side, and he's going to be clipped and dropped at the 39-yard line as he tries to get around the left tackle. Eric Kitchen is going to make the tackle. Eric Kitchen, a tackle machine. He's had at least 3 I know of here in the first half. 2:37 to go here in the first quarter. Clock is rolling.
Kitchen grabbed him up high, and Anderson went in low. Jason took his knees out, and I'll tell you, great tackle as EMCC looks to try to get some type of turnover here to get some field position in a decent opportunity for them.
Rolling to his right, squaring, firing out towards the far sideline. It's incomplete. It went high over his intended receiver's head, which is Gabe Douglas. There was a couple of guys in defense for EMCC, one of those being Jacob Anderson. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9 situation. Boy, Jones has had great field position all quarter. I think they started one time in their own territory, was able to get on a long pass into EMCC territory, but they have come up short. The EMCC's defense has hung tough. Both defenses have hung tough today. 2:16 left to go in the opening quarter. The clock is stopped now after the incompletion. Ball near hash, moving from right to left. Jones. Snap to Stetson, play action, looking near side, fires near side, wide open receiver, can't connect with him, and he gets popped at the 21-yard line. That's Natarian Watts they were looking for, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and 9, and so it's going to bring out the punting unit once again for Jones. And Greg Hayden has had a very, very busy first quarter.
Anderson came in there late in the play with his shoulder. You heard the fans on the near side thinking that should have been a late hit. There was no flag. EMCC needs a big return here to get something going on offense, and a special type of like look on the punt. Yeah,
gate look on the punt. Now they all trot to the near side and get set up in a semi-normal punt formation. With his heels on the 45, his own 45, Hayden's ready to take the snap. It's a high snap. Penalty flag flies as soon as he catches it, and it's going to be a nice kick. It's going to be fielded by EMCC inside, or just above the 10 at around the 11-yard line by DJ Clayton. Let's check this penalty as the White Hat's about to explain.
Because I don't know if they've got enough players on the line of scrimmage and all that shifting and moving around. You've got to get a certain number of players on the line of scrimmage, and I don't think they had enough.
Yeah, it's going to be an illegal shift. They've got the football spotted up to the 12 now after diving forward. Catching it at the 11, and he dove forward, was DJ Clayton over on the far hash. White Hat has not explained. It is going to be on Jones. I think he's looking to Buddy Stevens to see what he wants to do.
I think I'd make him kick this ball again with an opportunity of a block or a return.
And so the White Hat's going to say illegal formation.
The play was on the end of the line, they got covered up. That penalty is declined. East Mississippi's ball.
All right, so the official telling us that EMCC has declined the penalty, so they will take it at their own 12, ball left hash.
Is this our best starting position at the
I think so.
Our own 12-yard line?
Well, no, the best starting position was the opening drive where they started at the 43, their own 43, but since then it's been the 3, the 5, now the 12.
5-yard penalty will be tacked on
And the kick. It'll be a 5-yard penalty.
All right, so now they're saying 5-yard penalty tacked on at the end of the kick. So Buddy Stevens can't decline it, and glad he can't because that gives EMCC more yardage. So it's going to be a 1st down and 5 situation. Spot of the football is going to be around the 17. DeWeaver in the shotgun. We'll have trips short side of the field, which is across the way from us, all bunched up. Single receiver near side. Weaver looking towards the left side. He fires it underneath on the shallow cross. It's caught. I think that's Reddix. He's going to take it around the 19-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 2 and to bring up now 2nd down and 8. That's going to be Drummond, not Reddix. I beg your pardon. 5, not 2.
Yeah, Reddix was running wide open on the far side of the field as they had difficulty picking up the backs out of that 3-man bunch formation lineup on the left side.
Fred Peters will make the tackle, the snap, leaving it with McIntosh, and he runs into his blockers around the left side, but stays on his feet, has the 1st down as he gets across the 30-yard line, pushed out of bounds around the 31 or 32. I think they're going to say the 31.
He looked like a pinball on that left side of the field on that sweep, bouncing off of people, but he is so good at twisting and keeping his hip square to the line of scrimmage, bouncing off people, making positive yardage out of nothing.
There's no score here in Ellisville between Jones and EMCC. 1:15 and counting. They say he did not step out of bounds, so they kept the clock rolling. It was a 1st down. They moved the chains. And DeWeaver has plenty of time to pass it. Now rolling to his right. He's going to square and fire, and it's caught by Drummond at about the 47-yard line. Correction, that was to his left, as it's going to be on the far side of the field. And they'll put it on the left hash here momentarily, and it's going to bring up now a 2nd down and short situation.
Great job with Messiah DeWeaver getting his hips squared at the line of scrimmage and finding Drummond, who made a great catch, low ball, and got out of bounds. The officials are conversing. It could be a flag.
They got a flag on the far side of the home side of the field. They're around, I think, midfield over there. I'm not sure
I could
what
see
it
it now. I was looking for it. They're pointing saying flag, and I was hesitant for just a moment. It's going to be a face mask on Jason Brownlee on EMCC, one of the wideouts. The flag was on Jones' side of the field at the 48-yard line, and some of the sideline was covering up that flag, but it was kind of way out of view if you weren't paying attention, and even if you're looking for it, you're looking for it in the neighborhood of all the action. So that's going to back EMCC up, and after the penalty has been assessed, back at their own 15-yard line. 1:03 to go in the opening quarter, no score. Now they're going to run the clock.
Those are one of those penalties that you look at as drive killers, as you had an opportunity where the Lions were moving the ball down the field, pick up a big face mask.
Snapping the shotgun to DeWeaver. Now he's going to step up and take it himself, trying to avoid some tacklers as he shifts left and right. Then he's going to finally be taken off his feet at the 14-yard line. So he's going to lose a yard, and that's going to bring up now a 2nd down and long. A 2nd down and 16.
Quavius Curry, Jason with a big hit on quarterback Messiah DeWeaver, put that shoulder pad into his back. DeWeaver a little slow getting up, but finds himself at a 2nd down and
2nd
long.
and 26.
Yeah.
They had just a minute ago. They had 15, but that was actually where the line of scrimmage was, and that pass going to fall incomplete as DeWeaver tries to throw it to Drummond around the 40-yard line, and it's going to bring up now 3rd down and 26. They've got to get up to the 40-yard line for a 1st down. Now they put it up 26. They did have 15 yards, so I was correct because it says ball on the 14. So don't trust the scoreboard, remember?
20.4 seconds remain here in the first quarter play. It's been a very fast first quarter.
DeWeaver inside pressure, has to get rid of it quickly on the screen pass. It does to McIntosh. He comes up the near hash, now bounces out to the numbers around the 20, and he's going to be tackled there and really didn't have much of a chance to pick up the 1st down on that screen pass. Had some running room at first, but then there was nothing but maroon jerseys that bottled him up around the 20. And so he will gain 6 on the play. So it's 4th and 20, and that will bring up the end of the first quarter. We head to the 2nd quarter play with EMCC facing a 4th and 20 from their own 20. They will be punting it away as we start the 2nd quarter. No score here in Ellisville. You're listening to the EMCC Football Network. going to kick this football away. It's going to be kind of a low-line drive kick. It's going to bounce at the 45-yard line. It's going to roll out to midfield and go back to the Jones 49 as they switch into the field. EMCC was kicking right to left, so now Jones will be moving from left to right from their own 49. Another great starting field position. Jones has one field position, but nobody's winning on the scoreboard right now.
Yeah, 30-yard punt that time for EMCC. I think I might have called time out there to get a punt off there before you had to switch ends of the field and try to get as much distance as you could on the punt, but a great field position here starting at their own 49-yard line for Jones.
Boy, defense stepped up in the first quarter for both teams. Either team just 2 first downs. 16 offensive plays for the Lions for 28 yards, 16 offensive plays for Jones for 53 yards.
Third down conversions have been big so far with EMCC 0 of 4, 1 of 5 for Jones.
Bennett in the shotgun will take the snap from his own 49, play action to his tailback, fires it left sideline at the numbers. It's caught inside the 40 down to the 47-yard line, or 37-yard line, I beg your pardon. And that's going to be a first down for Jones as the Bobcats. Now they have just been living in EMCC territory here in the first half.
Timing throw that time for Bennett as he dropped back, looked right, then looked left and fired it, and threw it before his wide receiver broke from his route. And when he did, the ball was right there waiting on him. So a nice throw. And the ball now, as you mentioned, back inside EMCC territory.
Dante Edwards is the tailback, pistol formation, turns, leaves it with Edwards, who just bruises his way right up the middle, knocked one of his blockers out of the way. The ball's on the ground as he fumble again. Or lose the fumble, I should say. He does fumble twice here in the first half. Lost it the first time to EMCC, but they fall right back on it, does Jones. And so down to the 35-yard line after the gain of 2. That was some tough 2 yards. So it's second down now.
Looked like that fumble came from trying to pick up extra yardage at the end of the play. EMCC was trying to swat the football out, and looked like they did, but his knee must have been down before so.
2nd and 7 with trips left side. Ball spotted middle of the field. Bennett with the shotgun snap, looking towards the left sideline, fires at left sideline, and it's almost intercepted by Anderson. Joseph Anderson was coming under it. It looked like he was a punt returner trying to slide to his right to catch a low-line drive punt, but it's incomplete, and it's going to bring up now 3rd down and 7. Anderson couldn't get there, but from our angle, it looked like he may come pick that one off on the far sideline.
Yeah, Jones was going completely with those crossing patterns, and it's confusing sometimes for a defensive back if you're not sure where you need to be or who you're covering or what spot in the field you're covering, as he's looking for an open receiver there and almost threw an interception.
Ball middle of the field at the 35-yard line, twins either side. Raising his right leg is Bennett. Now calls for the football and receives it. Looks left and fires it over the middle, and it's incomplete at the 30-yard line. EMCC may have gotten there with Anderson just a little bit early, and the crowd moaned and groaned wanting a pass interference, but I think his timing may have been just about perfect. And it's going to bring up now a 4th and 7. He faked like he was going to throw it on the far sideline, then threw it short over on the far hash at the 30-yard line, and it goes incomplete. Nice job by Anderson on defense there.
I was the same as you, Jason, as they're about to try a 52-yard field goal.
Woo. I
thought that Anderson got there just a split second early, but we'll take it. Long field goal attempt, but a good win behind him.
Yeah, 52-yarder with the win.
This would be a long for him, as his previous long is a 51 yards for Christopher Thompson. He's 9 of 13 for 69% on field goal attempts, and Buddy Stevens and the Lions want to talk about it. So as Cliff Collins will gather his defense around with 13:29 remaining here before halftime, we'll pause and be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to the Lions Radio Network. Out there to attempt this 52-yard field goal, as our sideline reporter Glenn Beard alluded to a moment ago. The wind is at his back. High snap pulled down by the holder, and it's high end over end. Now it's falling short, and it's going to be wide right. Short and wide right, and the field goal is no good by Christopher Thompson. As EMCC now will get the football at the 35-yard line, their own 35.
Lions are going to have probably their best starting field position of the day after that missed field goal. The snap was high, and the kicker had to hitch his giddy up a little bit, pushed it wide right, and it was short.
Davis Harrison is the holder, a linebacker, a sophomore from Meridian, Mississippi, and it was kind of high and behind him, and he had to pull it down, so missed the timing, as you mentioned, Glenn. Christopher Thompson, a freshman from Vicksburg, has been pretty good this season. It's the second best starting field position of the day. Inside handoff, McIntosh is going to be grabbed a hold of, and he's going to dive up to about the 37-yard line. Chai Hill will make the tackle for Jones. 13-10 and counting here in the second quarter before halftime.
Hill was left all to his lonesome there on the backside of that play. When McIntosh cut back, if he could have gotten by him, it would have been a big yardage play.
Another inside handoff, and just dragging some folks up to about the 44-yard line is going to be McIntosh once again, needing less than 50 yards to get to 1,000 on the season. Now the officials are going to call an official timeout.
One of our players was down on the field there, and he's going to go off the sidelines. It looks like Josh Smith. Number 55, Matt Tolles. Now he's jogging off the field on the far side. I think McIntosh hit him in the back when he was trying to get by him. Third down is short for EMCC.
He's your left guard. With a backup in there, let's see if they go right or left here. Twin receivers stacked on either side of the formation. Shotgun snap, inside handoff to McIntosh. He's going to have the first down as he goes behind right guard. And he's going to be stopped at the marker, though.
Well, he's going to be close.
I thought he went over the 45, and he's right at the 45, which is the yardage needed. And our statistician in here, Kevin Gilbert, says it's a first down, and they go ahead and call it. They're not even going to measure. So the nose of the football is going to be on the 45-yard line. And EMCC is moving right to left. We'll have stacked twin receivers either side once again. McIntosh off the left hip of DeWeaver, who's in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He's going to give it to McIntosh. Tries to bounce to the outside right side. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, breaks a couple of tackles, and gets out across the line of scrimmage up to the 46. That's a tough yard gain, and the EMCC fans across the way want a late hit out of bounds flag, and they're not going to get it. So it'll bring up now second down and 9 from their own 46.5-yard line. I think it's going to be closer to the 47s where they're going to say he steps out.
Jacoby Jones with a big block over there to allow McIntosh to get what he needed to turn that into a positive play, or else he was going to lose a couple of yards.
So 2-yard gain for McIntosh around the right end. 11:56 to go before halftime. EMCC with a second down and 8 from their own 47. DeWeaver looking near side, escapes pressure, rolls out of the pocket, pump fakes, and tries to get it to Drummond, incomplete, just a couple of feet in front of him at the 40-yard line of Jones, and it goes out of bounds, incomplete pass, and it's going to bring up now a third down and 8 from their own 47-yard line, for EMCC.
Aside DeWeaver held onto that ball as absolute long as he could, as he got hit as soon as he threw the ball. It left his hands, and he got smashed. But a good job by Jacoby Jones on the far side of the offensive line of right tackle, as he told McIntosh that they were coming from a blitz on that left side of the defense. They did so and picked it up.
The snap on 3rd and 8. Drop straight back, has plenty of time, now has some pressure, has to step up, roll to his right. He's just going to keep the football, and he's not going to make the first down marker. He's going to get inside Jones territory, but he is hit hard between the numbers and the sideline across the way from us at about the 47. So he's going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down. So it'll bring up now a 4th down and 2 situation for the Lions. And do you go for it here?
For those who are watching that on television or on the broadcast, video broadcast, Messiah DeWeaver almost slipped down. He stuck his hand down to keep from falling, and the defender went right over the top of his head, and he was able to keep his feet and dive toward the first down yardage. I don't think he got a very good spot.
No, he didn't get a very good spot. It is 4 and a long 2. Coach Stevens is going to call a timeout, and he's thinking about it. Guys, this is an opportunity to kind of pin Jones into their area for the first time on the day. However, it is decision time. Let's see what he does.
107 yards on the ground, giving up a game as Jones defense, and they've been tough against the run today, guys. So a 4th down and short, I mean, you got to be careful with your play calling here. Now, Here's the reason I say go for it. Trust your defense. They've been so good today because Jones has just lived in EMCC territory, but the Lions defense has come up with big play after big play to stop Jones, and they missed a 51-yard field goal just a moment ago, and it didn't even look close to being good. So I think Buddy Stevens coming out of this timeout is going to go for it, guys. And he is bringing his offense back out onto the field. Keon Moore was out there a moment ago, but I think they're going to bring Deion McIntosh back out there. So with 11:01 to go before halftime, EMCC is going to go for it on 4th down and 2. They're inside Jones territory at the Jones 47. They have got to get to the Jones 45. Ball on the right hash. They've got Taekwon Ulmer in there, quarterback. Ulmer in the shotgun. McIntosh flanked to his right. High snap pulled down by Ulmer. He goes around the right side, tries to go up the middle, and he is going to be well short. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard over. And like I said, it was one of those situations where they've been so tough against the run, especially running between the tackles. EMCC doesn't get it there. I like the situation they're bringing Taekwon Ulmer because he's a guy that they haven't seen, and he's got a dynamic running ability. So that's your best chance, I think, to get it on 4th and 2 in that situation, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I think you need an RPO there. You need a fake with him rolling out to one side or the other, an opportunity to throw the ball or run it. That was our best opportunity, I think, to get a first down, but it is a turnover on downs, and Jones now with an opportunity. EMCC got an interception early in the game. Jones now has turned us over on downs, so we're traded off there, so nobody hurt.
Still like the call by Buddy Stevens to go for it, and Boykin's call to putting Ulmer in there, and Jones made a good play. Tip your cap to him. First down, 10 to go from their own 46-yard line, and trying to come around near side and getting to the numbers and getting tackled is going to be the tailback Granberry, and making the tackle for EMCC is going to be Everett Cunningham, but we have a flag on the play, and I'm not certain it's going to be against Jones.
Yeah, it's against Jones, as Kane Taylor just was hailed and ran toward the official and was screaming right in his face, throw the flag, throw the flag. Then he finally threw it. So Kane Taylor talked himself into getting a penalty against the other team. Good job, Taylor.
Yeah, holding was the call out on the field. The referee did have a hard time getting his flag out of his pocket. His hands are cold, too. He finally got it loose and threw the flag. That'll back him up 10. That's a spot foul, so it'll repeat first down.
All right, thank you, Glenn. Appreciate that. And EMCC, though, going to benefit from this. We'll keep you up to date on what's going on around college football. Texas A&M defeats Ole Miss 38-24 today in College Station. It just kicked off at Tuscaloosa. Number 1 Alabama, number 16 Mississippi State. That's according to the college football playoff poll. Of course, Alabama is unanimous number 1 in every poll. Mississippi State number 16 in the playoff poll, which is what matters. Trips to the left, wide side of the field, throwing over the middle, caught at the 49-yard line, getting across midfield. Inside Lion territory is going to be Gabe Douglas, and now there's still a big old rugby scrum going on, and the officials have got to blow the whistle here. And it's still going on between the numbers and the hash. And the football team to the near side's pumped up. The crowd's pumped up. At some point, guys, you've got to, for a safety issue, blow that play dead.
Yeah, they're generally not going to blow it dead unless forward progress stops. That offensive line got in behind them and started pushing. EMCC got enough guys over there to finally stop the forward progress, but not until they picked up another 4 or 5 yards on that little scrum for a first down.
Looked like rugby out there. First down. They tend to go inside the 40-yard line of EMCC, down at the 39. Inside handoff to Granberry. Churns his legs between the tackles. Is going to get down to the 35-yard line, so he is going to gain about 4 on the play, and that'll bring up now a second down and 6. Making the tackle for EMCC is Eric Kitchen.
Daryl Middleton, one of the guys that came up there to plug that hole, the freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee, 6'7", 290 pounds, Jason. He was there to just kind of bottle up, take on 2 defenders, and that opened up an opportunity for the tackle.
So it's second down and 6. Bennett looks back to the near sideline. Now he shifts from his right to his left hip. Granberry. Kalen Granberry. Here's the shotgun snap. They leave it in the belly with Granberry. Comes around near side. Great blocking. Gets between the hash and the numbers inside the 30. Gets outside the numbers at the 25. He's going to be tackled there. It's a first down. Needed 6. Got more than that. Fred Hervey's going to knock him off his feet. The leading tackler for EMCC.
Jones is doing what they do best on offense, and that's a little bit of a power game. Quarterback is handing it off, and they're just running over right tackle, and he picked up that yardage on the cutback. A nice job by Jones College.
Trips left, wide side of the field. 8:46 to go before half. Down to the 25 of EMCC, firing it left side, intercepted, and it's nothing but green. EMCC's taking it between the numbers and the sideline, across midfield, and now inside the 35, inside the 30, sidesteps one man and is tackled from behind at the 25. Jaquez Akins with the pickoff, and he brings it down to the 25 of Jones. That's his 4th interception of the season.
No penalty flags either on the play. The quarterback was looking for the wide receiver to cut out. The receiver cut in, and our defensive back was standing there with, it kind of made me nervous. It was almost too easy of an interception. Those sometimes are dropped, but a good job by EMCC catching that ball and taking it all the way down the field, and by far their best starting field position for a drive.
So first down, 10 to go from the Jones 25. Boy, I tell you what, Jones had some speed there on offense. I didn't think anybody, once he intercepted it, I didn't think anybody was going to have the angle to get him. Taekwon Ulmer in at quarterback, takes the snap, hands it off to McIntosh, and the Lions have had a tough day running the football. He's going to be dropped back at the 27 for a loss of 2 on the play. It's 2nd down and 12.
Might look for play action here with quarterback rolling right or left. Ulmer still in there at quarterback.
Taekwon Ulmer now shouts out some instructions as they're going to stack that line of scrimmage. Single receivers either side. Wide side of the field is near side. Ball on the right hash. Jones is stacking the box. Play action. They're going to float it on a fade pattern near side looking for Drummond. Great position, and he's going to catch it inside the 15. Stay on his feet. 5. Touchdown. He slowed down at the 3, and his defender had recovered and almost tackled him at the 1. Touchdown Lions. 6-0. 7:52 to go before halftime. Beautiful play by Ulmer and Drummond, and Taekwon Ulmer throws his first touchdown pass of the season.
Yeah, Taekwon Ulmer threw that ball on that backside shoulder, and Drummond just went up and got it. Such a strong young man catching that ball, clinching it with 2 fists, and then slowed down, like you said, and almost got tackled from behind, and that would have been very embarrassing, and I'd have hated to have faced Coach Stevens on the sidelines.
27-yard scoring strike. Snap is back by Burton. The hold by Goler is good, and the extra point by Josh Smith is good, and the Lions lead it 7-0 with 7:52 to go here in the first quarter. Championship teams come up with big-time plays when things start to look kind of grim, and Jaquez Akins makes a big interception, returns it to the 25. After a 2-yard loss back to the 27, it's Ulmer with the 27-yard touchdown pass, the fade pattern near side, and Drummond made a great job of repositioning himself inside the 15.
Yeah, he did. The strong guy, it's a basketball play. You just get position, go up for the ball, meet it at its highest point, and a good job by doing that for EMCC. And they've done it all season long. Drummond is probably the best of the receivers at it. Reddix is pretty good too.
Drummond with his 10th touchdown reception of the season. Ulmer has a couple of touchdowns on the ground, but none to the air, and he gets his first this season. The EMCC is going to kick it off from right to left from their own 35-yard line with 7:52 to go before half. Bright, sunny skies. There's some clouds off to the south of us, but there's no threat of rain for today as Josh Smith is going to come up on the football, and he's going to kick it from right to left. It's going to be high, end over end, middle of the field. Backing up, taking it at the 10-yard line. Return man 15 up near hash at the 20, 25, 30, 35-yard line. He's finally tackled there. And making the return is Rogers, I beg your pardon. Thought that was Gabe Douglas out there. It is not. Rogers is going to return it up to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, nice return. Good speed, especially once he got away from the initial defenders, and there could be a flag on the play.
It's Gabe Rogers, by the way. It's going to be it looks like they're indicating that.
Come on, let's get this place rocking. Let's make
it's going to be offsides. It looked like the call against Jones.
It is. Here's Glenn on the sidelines. Glenn?
I think they've got an offsides.
Oh, they're pointing toward EMCC.
Yeah, it's going to be offsides against the kicking team.
Yep. They got that one wrong.
Initially, they pointed against Jones, and that's what I was saying. I've never seen offsides on the receiving team.
Yeah, it's like, how does that even happen? So after the penalty yardage is marked off, it's going to be the 41-yard line, the spot with trips wide side of the field near side. So snap to Bennett. He's going to leave it with his tailback. Edwards, who goes straight at the middle, and he's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage, and he is dropped. And there's a whole host of great jerseys there piling up on Edwards. 7:34 and counting here in the second quarter. EMCC up 7-0
looked like Hervey got up off the bottom of the pile, but there's no surprise. Those those defensive tackles in defensive ends, they eat up blockers, and Hervey is very good at reading the play and getting in and being where the ball is.
Spotted the football, the 41, their own 41, left hash. Snap to Bennett, turns, and he's going to fake the give. Bootleg near side. He's got backside pressure, hit, dropped inside the 40 at the 37-yard line. EMCC comes up with a huge sack, and coming up is LaShawn Paulino Bell to make a huge play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation.
Boy, Bell lined up at that defensive line position on the left side. He rushed the quarterback, and he was there for contain. Quarterback turned and came right toward him and then had to cut up the field. And a good job by Paulino Bell. Strong young man, very fast too. Shed the tackler and come up and make the stop. 3rd down and long.
3rd and 14 after the loss of 4 on the sack. 6:34. Clock still rolling here in the second quarter. Trips near side once again. Same formation as last. Here's the snap, and it's a quarterback draw, and he's going to be dropped back at the 35-yard line. Eric Kitchen comes up with a huge play there. The South Panola product is going to be flexing as he's walking across the field to the far sideline, and EMCC is going to force a punt. It's going to be 4th down and long now with 6:10 to go and counting here in the second quarter.
Kitchens did that a lot up for South Panola over the past several years, but this is a young man who is strong and powerful. Gets back there, puts pressure, able to hold his spot and grab the quarterback. Nice job by the whole entire defensive line.
DJ Clayton back deep to receive inside his own 35. Here's the kick, and it's going to drive Clayton backwards inside the 25. Tries to reverse his field goal around right side, slips down inside the 20. They don't blow the whistle, and he gets back up at the 20-yard line. I think he was down around the 17 or 18-yard line.
Looked like he drug his knee, but the official standing right there didn't think so. He may have been blocked off by the return man's position. But starting at their own 20-yard line, EMCC comes out with a lead of 7-0 and an opportunity to get something here. And I think what they need to do, there's 5:40 to go in the quarter. They need to put together a sustained drive, give the defense an opportunity to catch a breather, and you really need to score here since you took the ball to open the ball game. So you want to go in the half with all of the momentum.
Exactly. You don't want Jones a chance to take the opening kickoff of the second half back or score to tie the game up. Inside handoff, and not much for EMCC's McIntosh as Dion gets out across the 20 up to the 21 as Deshaun Crawford's going to knock him off his feet. It's just been tough going for EMCC. They've had a couple of positive plays between the tackles, but that front 7 has been so tough for Jones against the run today. 2nd down and 9 from the 21-yard line. EMCC moving from right to left. From their own 21, here's the snap and the shotgun, leaving it once again with his tailback, and McIntosh gets out across the 22. So that's going to be a gain of 1, 3rd down and 8. Back-to-back plays of 1-yard gains by McIntosh.
Pretty conservative play calling. Another point about this being an important drive is you do not want to turn the ball over here on a punt or a turnover and give Jones an opportunity to score here, go into the half, and then come back out with an opportunity to take the lead.
Trips right, single receiver near side to Weaver, of course, back out there, quarterback on 3rd and 8. Takes a snap, surveys the field, floats a fade pattern for Drummond near side. Caught it with one hand at the 40-yard line and secured it with a second. He's going to get up to the 44 before he steps out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. Ontario Drummond is going to make some D1 team very happy next season.
Yeah, he's got such a good balance when the ball is in the air. He just stuck his hand up, effortless. Caught it with that left hand, then closed the right hand on the ball and easily makes the catch in the 1st down.
I could complete passes on fade patterns to him. He just goes and gets that football.
A lot of them are 50-50 balls, too. The quarterback's throwing the ball up top and just giving Drummond a chance to go up and get it.
The snap for the near hash, going to leave it with McIntosh, tries to face or stiff arm rather, a guy in the face mask here on the near side. Gets out of bounds around the 45-yard line. And it's going to be Dalen Gills going to chase him out of bounds. So it'll bring up now a 2nd down and a long 2.
Drummond supporting that left arm and left sock being white, that arm sleeve, the right arm, right glove, right sock being red for EMCC.
3:52 to go before halftime. Trips wide side of the field to the right, single receiver near side. DeWeaver in the shotgun. We'll have McIntosh off his left hip. He'll step up, shout out some instructions to his offensive line. Now we have a whistle and a timeout called. And the timeout's going to be called by EMCC. So the Lions want to talk about it. We're going to pause 30 seconds and be back to Ellisville in a moment. This is EMCC football on the Lions Radio Network. Ellisville EMCC in the MACJC State Championship game, leading 7-0 over the Jones Bobcats. The EMCC coming out of the timeout will have a second down and 8 from their own 46-yard line. Ball's going to be on the near hash. Boy, the painting on the field has faded significantly as this game has gone on. Jones showing a blitz with their linebackers. DeWeaver in the shotgun now, looking back to the far side. DeWeaver checks his trips right. Now he's ready to receive the football on the snap. Looking right, now looking left, dancing with his feet, rolls left, pump fakes, and he's going for Drummond again. Another one-handed grab, but is he out of bounds? Yes, incomplete. He was out of bounds. Oh my goodness, Dontario Drummond caught it with his left hand this time and just squeezed it with one hand.
The official with the best eyes on the play wasn't sure what to call, so he looked to the side judge down the field to make that call, but he was screened away, and he made the incomplete call. But Drummond, nice job. They've got a safety over the top, so they're protecting, double covering Drummond, but that time DeWeaver, buying a little extra time with his feet, allowed the defender to pull away, and Drummond was open that time.
Ulmer back out there, quarterback. He'll get his offensive lineman down and set. He's going to send in motion out of the backfield. McIntosh, he's going to run right up the middle, and he's going to have a first down and more, and he's going to be flipped and helicoptered around the 41-yard line. That's enough for a first down. And flanking McIntosh out of the backfield, open up some space with the linebacker in the middle.
Jonathan Haynes with the tackle that time, and you're right. They took McIntosh out, motioned him out of the backfield. That took the linebacker out. And, the quarterback, Ulmer, liked what he saw there and took advantage of that play where he just had one man to beat.
Great play call by Coach Boykin. They go in the zone read with McIntosh and keeping himself as Ulmer. He's going to be dropped for a half-yard loss back at the 42.5-yard line. So it's 3:02 now and counting to go before halftime.
Those four initial defensive linemen are getting great penetration there into the backfield. So they're stopping the EMCC on a lot of plays before they get an opportunity to get moving forward.
Second down and a long 10. Ball's going to be placed on the near hash. Inside hat. No, he pulls it from the belly of McIntosh, but once again, Ulmer is going to be stopped at the original line of scrimmage, so he gains another half yard.
Assignment football, the defender went back and took McIntosh out of the play. Ulmer had to keep it, and he was stopped at the line of scrimmage. This is third down and about 10. Messiah DeWeaver's coming back in here.
He gained a half yard back.
Yep, that's right. Did get his half yard back.
So DeWeaver will be in the shotgun with trips right. Single receiver here on the near side. McIntosh off the left hip of DeWeaver on this third down and 10 situation with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the opening period. Or opening half, I should say. Ball middle of the field. Here's the snap. And DeWeaver's going to roll to his right. He's going to be sacked inside EMCC territory at the 48. Penalty flag flies, and I think this is going to be holding on the EMCC offensive line.
Flag on the play.
So the drive is going to stall here and is going to be holding against EMCC with 2:02 to go here before halftime.
Yeah, holding, Jason, goes against the Lions. That defensive front for Jones is the best we've seen this year.
No doubt. Now here comes Smith out to kick this football away. Back deep to receive again, Emmanuel Jones. Jones, a freshman, 5'5", 167-pounder out of Amory, Mississippi. Played at Amory High School. Looks a little bigger than that down on the field than he does on the roster. He'll stand with his toes on the 25-yard line. We'll wait the snap back to Smith, who has his heels on the 35. Nice snap, and it's not a very good kick. I think the official says it was partially blocked, and it's going to go to the 30-yard line. So, yeah, something changed the trajectory of that football. And it was not a very good looking kick, but it does take an EMCC roll down to the 30. Ball's going to be placed on the left hash. And Jones is going to have it there, their own 30, moving left to right. So they've got 70 yards to pay dirt to tie this game up with 1:53 remaining.
Biggest defensive stand of the ball game right here, minute 53 before half. Remember, Jones gets the ball coming out in the second half, so they're going to look to get some points here. EMCC really needs to be stingy on defense and to be opportunistic. If you got an opportunity to intercept the ball or get a fumble, do it now.
Bennett with a snap, bubble screen near side, it's caught, and he's got some real estate as he gets inside the numbers, or outside the numbers, I beg your pardon, around the 33-yard line. Making the reception is going to be Emmanuel Jones, the punt returner. He's also a receiver on offense.
Joseph Anderson, a nice job of getting over there and bringing the tackler out of bounds. They're going to say he actually stopped forward progress inbound, so a minute 28 with clock running.
Closer to the 34-yard line, so we'll call it a gain of 4 on 2nd down and 6. H-back in motion from right to left side of the formation. On 2nd and 6, the snap to Bennett looking left side, fires it left side, and hit as soon as he catches the football at the 46-yard line was Emmanuel Jones. Big, huge hit by Shabaki Harrington.
Yeah, Harrington saw that ball in the air, knew he wasn't going to have a play on it, did the smart thing, and that's go and make the sure tackle, and boy, did he. He put the receiver flat on his rear end back on the 37-yard line and a timeout on the field.
So we'll pause 30 seconds. We'll be back with the final minute, 9 seconds of the first half. You're listening to the EMCC Football Network. Before halftime, it's a 3rd down and 3 situation for Jones at their own moving from left to right. They trail 7-0 to EMCC here in the MACJC State Championship game. Trips wide side of the field as Bennett's in the shotgun. Takes the snap, back to pass, fade pattern far sideline, and going up and making a huge play and knocking it away is EMCC at the 35-yard line of EMCC, and I think that's Anderson. Yeah, came up, made a big play. Jacob Anderson, 6'3", 200, a sophomore from Johns, Mississippi, played at Puckett High School, and let me tell you, with that 6'3" height, that created the opportunity to make that play defensively.
Yeah, Kilo Swinney also there defensively, swinging those arms, trying to bat the ball. But the receiver really had a chance to catch that ball. EMCC punched it out. Incomplete, and a 4th down. The Lions get it. A minute 4. If you can get a block here, Jason, EMCC's not sending anybody back.
Here's the snap back and taking about 3 or 4 steps and getting his foot into it. And oh, what a great job. Bouncing inside the 20, inside the 10, and it's going to be down. It's a touchback. They could have had it at the 1-yard line. Huge punt by Greg Hayden. Boy, that was a beautiful. He stepped into it about 3 yards, it looks like he ran, and then got his foot into it, and all his momentum had a big high spiral.
Yeah, beautiful spiral, got into the wind, the ball hit the ground, and it was traveling at such a great speed. It took a huge bounce. It bounced about 25 yards, went into the end zone, actually bounced a little further than that, but it looks like EMCC is going to take a couple snaps here and run this clock out.
Alabama leading Mississippi State 7-0 with 8:42 to go in the first quarter. Now they have the football on their own 17. Ole Miss was defeated by Texas A&M 38-24 earlier today in College Station, and the Lions, with the Weaver, just going to take the snap, take a knee, and there's 48 seconds, now 47 seconds, and counting here in the second quarter. Jones will get the football back to start the second half of action in the third quarter with a chance to score and tie things up. The Lions will take a 7-0 halftime lead. In a moment, we're going to go to Glenn Beard and get Buddy Stevens' thoughts on the first half. That was a defensive first half here in the MACJC state title game. Here's the next snap, and they'll take the knee again, and that's going to do it for the first quarter play, or first half of play, I beg your pardon. EMCC up 7-0. We're going to send it down on the field to Glenn Beard.
Thank you, Jason. Here with head football coach Buddy Stevens. Coach, this half nip and tuck defense playing well. What do you think?
Defense is playing awesome. I mean, they're playing really, really well. Offensively, we got to do a better job of talking up front, and we got to execute. We just got to execute on offense. I mean, there's no two ways about it. That has a lot to do with us and a lot to do with them, and they're pretty doggone good over there. And we're gonna go in here and try to scribble around and see if we can find a way to score more points.
Thanks, Coach. That's head football coach Buddy Stevens, guys. 7-0. Lions leading right now at the halftime.
Thank you, Glenn. And that score was a 27-yard touchdown pass from Taekwon Ulmer. And it went to Dontario Drummond. He repositioned himself with the defensive back as the ball was a little underthrown, caught it inside the 15, and then trotted between the numbers and the sideline into the end zone after a Jaquez Akins pickoff around the 30-yard line. He returned it from from his own 30 all the way down to the 25 of Jones. And then 2 plays later, it was a 27-yard touchdown pass. And that's where we stand here at the half. We'll be back in 1 minute with SEC Update. You're listening to to EMCC Football on the EMCC Football Network. welcome back to Ellisville, Mississippi. We're inside the press box here in the broadcast booth on the campus of Jones College as the crowd trying to bundle up here on the near side and the far side to keep warm. Jonathan, it's a first half that was just basically what you expect in a lot of championship games. Defense, and more defense.
Yeah, the defensive front for both teams just mangled up the offensive line. We're able to get back in the backfield and make big plays. And EMCC fortunate enough to get the big catch by Drummond and the touchdown to lead this one 7-0. But, I mean, they're top 5 teams. So, coming in, it's going to be a great ball game. So both teams still have an option of winning the game. Of course, remember the opening kickoff, Miss EMCC elected to receive. So Jones will receive here in the second half, so they'll have an opportunity to score here with an important first drive.
7-0 EMCC with the lead. EMCC with 6 first downs in the first half to Jones's 5. 25 carries for the Lions on the ground, 39 yards. Jones with 15 carries for 26 yards. Passing yards, 59 for EMCC, 82 for Jones, as Jones was 7 of 15 for 1 interception. EMCC 6 of 11. Total offensive plays, I glanced at that for a second and thought, wait a minute, that's not right. But yeah, 30 plays for 108 yards for Jones, 36 plays, 98 yards for EMCC. 1 punt return for EMCC minus 7 yards. 2 punt returns for 21 yards for Jones. 1 interception for EMCC, a return of 59 yards. 5 punts for a 28-yard average at EMCC. Jones with 4 punts for a 39.5-yard average. Jones fumbled it twice, lost 1. EMCC did not fumble in the first half. Penalties, 2 penalties, 20 yards for EMCC, 3 penalties for 20 yards for the Bobcats. Lions time of possession, 15 minutes and 36 seconds. Jones, 14 minutes and 24 seconds. Third down conversions, the Lions were better, 3 of 9, 1 of 8 for Jones. Fourth down conversions, 0 for 1 for EMCC, 1 for 1 for Jones. And the Bobcats in red zone score chances, 0 for 1. And EMCC was not in the red zone when they scored. They were at the 27-yard line. That 27-yard touchdown pass from Taekwon Ulmer to Dontario Drummond. Josh Smith kick was good. That was 2 plays, 25 yards, 39 seconds. Taken off the clock. So 7-0 is our score. Deion McIntosh has a net of 24 yards on 13 carries, has a long of 13 with a 1.8-yard average, so averaging about 2 yards per carry. Kalen Granberry, 7 carries for 23 yards. He had a long of 10, averaging 3.3 yards a pop. Messiah DeWeaver was 5 of 10 for 31 yards. And Stetson Bennett, 7 of 15 for 1 interception, 82 yards. A 24-yard pass was the longest pass they had as of 24 yards. Emmanuel Jones, 3 catches for 25 yards for Jones. Dontario Drummond, 4 catches for 54 yards. And Eric Kitchen with 5 total tackles for EMCC. Chai Hill had 6. Those are your leading tacklers for each team. EMCC is circled, a big circle, their whole football team around between the near hash and the far sideline. Jones all huddled up inside the 5-yard line, between the 5 and the goal line to our right. Now EMCC joins them and all huddling up as they huddle between the 10 and 20-yard line across the way from us. We're getting set for second half action. There's 40 seconds left on the halftime clock. And as we tick off those 40 seconds, let's take a look at some college football from the Southeastern Conference first. And I do realize a lot of folks love EMCC, and they're listening and watching from around the world. So it's not just based here in the SEC. So we'll take a look at some other college football scores of interest. Alabama at the end of first up 14-0 on Mississippi State. Kentucky trails Tennessee 3-0, 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Florida holds on to beat South Carolina in the Swamp 35-31. Missouri defeats Vanderbilt 33-28 in Columbia. Texas A&M on top of Ole Miss 38-24. Auburn and Georgia will play at 6 p.m. tonight on ESPN. And at 6:30 on the SEC Network, it's LSU at Arkansas. All right, so let's take a look at top 25 college football scores for you. Washington State trails Colorado 7-3 with 11:14 to go before halftime. By the way, Washington State is led by Garner Minshew, the quarterback, and he's being mentioned in the Heisman talk now. He played at Northwest. We called a couple of his games here in JUCO. So those of you who are watching around the world, remember the quarterback from Northwest a couple of years ago, back in 2015, 2016. Your Garner Minshew is now the quarterback in Pullman for Washington State. Michigan and Rutgers tied at 7 with 15 minutes to go before halftime. So just starting the second quarter. No score in the Northwestern Iowa game. Iowa State leading Baylor 7-0 with 13:04 to go in the second quarter. Oklahoma leading Oklahoma State in the Bedlam game 17-14 as we're getting set for second half action. 15 minutes has been put on the clock. Kicking from right to left is Smith, and it's a sky kick taken by the up back at the 35-yard line. 2 hour left. He calls for a fair catch, so that's where Jones is going to have it. And that's going to be Dontavius Porter, who's going to call for the fair catch and receive the football at the numbers at the 35-yard line. So we're going to see Bennett and company come back out with a first down 10 to go from their own 35, trailing EMCC 7-0 in the MACJC State Championship game. We usually get a lot of comments from Brazil, Mexico, a lot of the European countries that watch EMCC, and we certainly hope you're having a great day wherever you're watching and listening, as it's a beautiful day here in Ellisville, but it is absolutely freezing. It feels like it's 30 degrees outside. As Jones is going to take the football to start the second half. Shotgun snap to Bennett, turns, leaves it with his tailback Granberry, who dances up the middle, and he's going to be dropped after getting up to the 38, loses the football. Does the EMCC have it? Or waiting the official signal. Lions think they have it. They're dancing around.
Granberry on the carry.
And they're going to say Granberry fell back on it. And that's going to cause some boo birds to rain down from the far side. Let's go to Glenn Beard on the sidelines.
Jason, they're going to say he was down. He didn't fall back on it. East Mississippi came up with it, but they're saying his knee was down.
Yeah, we couldn't see from our vantage point up here. We're kind of far away from the field.
Coach Stevens is hot on the far sideline.
So that'll be a gain of about 3.5 on the play. So we'll call it a second down and long 6. Granberry is going to be flanked off the right shoulder of Bennett, who's in the shotgun. Trips near side, wide side of the field. The snap from the 37-yard line on the left hash. Play action, pump fakes. He's got some backside pressure, gets rid of it. It's caught by Jones near side out across the 40, and he gets out of bounds at around the 48-yard line. That's enough for a first down. Emmanuel Jones will make the reception, and Jones is in business with a first down at the 48, their own 48.
Jaquez Akins stepped in front of that initial pass attempt. The quarterback pump faked it, and then he saw Akins step up there. And when Akins stepped up, he pump faked it and then threw it over his head to the wide receiver who was open and was able to pick up the first down.
Ball placed on the right hash. Jones moving from our left to our right. 13:38 and counting in the third quarter, so just underway. The snap from the 48, throwing it over the middle, caught inside EMCC territory down to the 45-yard line. That's Jones is going to make the reception again. Ontario Johnson will wrap him up and knock him off his feet at the 45-yard line. So it'll bring up a second down and short. It's going to be a gain of 7.5 on the play. EMCC going to go with a 4-man front. They have 2 down linemen. Kane Taylor is going to anchor that middle. He's the nose guard for EMCC. Trip receivers wide side of the field, near side. Bennett surveys the defense. Here's the snap. They come after him in the backfield. He's going to turn and hand it off to Granberry, and he's going to be tackled from the side as he dives inside the 45 down to the 44-yard line. Darrell Middleton will make the stop. Middleton came in with just 22 tackles. He had 6.5 tackles for loss. He's had a couple of tackles here in this game to add to his total. A couple of offensive substitutions. They're going to bring in a new offensive lineman, and Thaddeus King, sophomore out of Ocean Springs, 6'2", 243. He'll be on the right side of the line. The EMCC creeping those linebackers up. Third down and short, the snap. Granberry goes straight ahead, and he is going to go behind the right guard and get the first down to the 41-yard line. And that's going to move the chains. Back-to-back first downs for Jones on their opening drive here in the third quarter. 7-0. Lions on top of the Bobcats here in Ellisville. 12:21 to go in the third quarter.
They pulled Thaddeus King in to be a up back to run the ball, actually to block for the runner. And those big guys getting locked up with those linebackers. It was obvious it was a great play call and an opportunity for a first down for the Bobcats.
Twins near side. Ball going to be placed middle of the field at the 41 on 1st and 10. Down to the Lion 41. The snap and the shotgun play action. Pump fakes. He's backside pressure. Hit. Drop. 48-yard line. It's a sack. And coming up is Eric Kitchen with a huge sack for the Lions. Kitchen came in with 13.5 tackles for loss and a couple of sacks, and he adds to it now.
Yeah, Kitchen's had a great game so far here through this first 2 quarters and early into the third quarter. Clock is running. Second down at 10, or second down at about 16, it looks like, for Jones.
Back at the 48, they've got to get down to the 32 of the Lions for a first down on 2nd down and long. They shift from right to left. Granberry off the left shoulder now of Bennett, trips left. There's the snap to Bennett, and he throws it short between the hash and the numbers near side, and it's caught. Gets inside the 40 and down to the 35-yard line, and that is going to be Gabe Douglas. Or actually, Rogers, I beg your pardon. Jaquez Akins is going to come up to make the tackle. I think they've swapped jerseys here because Gabe Douglas is number 2 on our roster, and they've been calling him Gabe Rogers all night, who is listed as number 16 on our roster. So we'll try to check that the next time out. So for now, we'll just keep calling number 2 Gabe Rogers instead of Douglas. So it's now 3rd down and 3. Here's the snap, and it's a Wildcat formation, and getting the first down inside the 30 down to the 29. That is Jonathan Haynes who's going to take the direct snap, come around the near side, and get the 3rd first down now of this drive.
The defensive back, Joseph Anderson, had an opportunity to stop him back behind the line, but he went in with his head down and his shoulder leading the way, so he lost sight of the defender who got around him and was able to pick up a first down.
Bennett in the shotgun with Twins to the left. Here's the snap, play action to Bennett, and now we'll just fire it over the middle, and it's incomplete inside the 10-yard line. They were looking for Rogers again. He was between the hash and numbers near side, and he throws it over his shoulder. He couldn't make the catch, and they're wanting a pass interference. Does Rogers and the near sideline? I didn't see pass interference. Didn't mean it didn't happen, but with the clock stopped with 10:20 to go in the third quarter, it's going to bring up now a 2nd and 10 for Jones.
He was trying to make it look like the defensive back was holding, but he didn't see the defensive back behind him with both hands in the air. So the officials clearly saw that and did not throw the flag, which was the right call.
Trips left, single receiver near side. Yeah, he tried to slow up with his back turned to the defender. 2nd and 10 from just inside the 30. Officially the 29. The snap to Bennett. They're going to leave it with Edwards on the ground. He goes straight up the middle. It's going to get inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line. That's Dante Edwards. Going to bring up now 3rd down and a medium situation after the gain of 5 there. And Ontario Johnson will knock him off his feet. Ontario Johnson out of Coahoma AHS, 6'1", 230, a sophomore on this Lions football team.
5'9", 204 is the running back, Jason. He looks like a bowling ball out there.
Shotgun formation. Here's the snap to Bennett. He's going to, or no, they're going to do the direct snap to Haynes again. He slipped in there on me down to the 20-yard line. He's going to be shy of the first down by a yard. Jaquez Akins will tackle him. Jonathan Haynes, that's the 2nd direct snap he has taken.
Well, Bennett is out on the field, so when Haynes is taking the snap, he's lining up at wide receiver. Now he's lined up at running back. No, he's lined up at quarterback. Nope,
here's
running
the
back.
Snap to Haynes again, and he goes straight ahead, and he's not going to get it on 4th down. Penalty flag flies. And so until we get all excited, we'll just wait and see what this penalty is going to be. Yeah, they're lining up 3 in the backfield, and taking the direct snap is Haynes.
The quarterback had his hands up like he was going to take the snap, but they snapped it over to Haynes. Haynes ran over right guard. Could that be a face mask?
It's going to be against Jones because Jones players are all clapping.
Face mask for the defense.
It is a face mask on the defense. And what a terrible time to get a face mask penalty. You had just held Jones, and you were about to get the ball back at your own 20, and Jones was going to miss another near red zone opportunity. They were at the 20, so I guess you can officially say they were in the red zone, but they had to get to the 19 for the first down, and now after the penalty yardage, you give them the ball inside the 10 and around the 10-yard line. So it's 1st down and goal to go for Jones. This has been their best opportunity today. So instead of getting the ball back, you give them a fresh set of downs at your 10. Ball's going to be placed on the near hash. Bennett in the shotgun. Bennett takes the snap. Bennett is going to keep it himself. Goes up the middle. Bounces to the outside. Gets outside the numbers to the 5. He dives for the pylon. Does he get in? Touchdown. Jones is going to score.
Bennett on the keeper.
And Bennett.
Touchdown,
has given 6 on the board for the Bobcats, and they're a PAT away from tying this one up in the third quarter in the early stages with 9:02 to go.
The field judge, who is right there at the pylon, looked back to the linesman to make the call for a touchdown, but it was awful close. EMCC hitting him at the line of scrimmage, but a great job by the quarterback, seeing that EMCC was not in position to stop him, made a touchdown and an opportunity to tie it up.
We'll wait the snap back. Here it is, the hold, the kick by Thompson, and it is good. And it's now 7 apiece here with 9:02 to go in the third quarter. We'll be back with the kickoff to the Lions in just a moment. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. Mississippi, it's the MACJC State Championship game, and we're all knotted up at 7 apiece.
Let's bring your broadcast back on the
with
field. Let's make some
9:02 to
noise.
go here in the third quarter. Man, I tell you what, the public address is loud.
Yep, and as you heard there just a little bit ago, the penalty was on EMCC as they jumped over the top of the center, which is something that you cannot do.
It's a safety issue.
Yeah, and 15-yard penalty was added on to the kickoff here, so they'll kick off from the 50-yard line.
EMCC's return man, which is Ontario Drummond, across the way with his toes on the 5-yard line, far hash. And DJ Clayton near side. He'll stand between the numbers and the hash. Here comes the kick from Thompson with his right foot. It's high, end over end, and Drummond's going to back up and take it on the B. And Bobcats at the end zone to go to a left knee, so it will be a touchback. EMCC will have it at their own 25, moving from right to left as we're knotted up at 7 apiece. Jones gets into the end zone at the 9:02 mark in the third quarter for the first time today.
Yeah, EMCC, it's an opportunity right now for the offense to respond, to take the ball down the field, to control the football, to get some time of possession, give your defense a little bit of a breather, come on down the field, get some points, take the momentum back.
All right, so here comes Messiah DeWeaver to try to lead a scoring try for EMCC here with their opening possession of the second half. Trips stacked at the numbers on the far side of the field. High snap, pulled down, given to Keon Moore as he goes behind right guard and gets up around the 27, so that will be a gain of 2. That'll bring up a second down and 8. Nick Anderson will make the stop for the Bobcats. Clock rolling now with 8:49 to go in the third quarter.
The Bobcats had been double covering Drummond on the near side, but that time they've got the safety over the top right in the middle of the field, so Drummond could have single coverage on this near side.
Same formation as last year's the snap. Plenty of time for DeWeaver. Now he has pressure, and he steps up and he's going to be dropped as he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think he may be about a half-yard shy, so it's going to bring up now a third down and long situation. Making the tackle is going to be LaMarcus Keys.
Brings up third down. Let's rock this place.
Keys did a nice job as Weaver was trying to weave in and out of tacklers, and he put a stop to him right around the line of scrimmage.
So DeWeaver will check his receiving unit near side, which is Kalen Reddix in the slot position. Ontario Drummond is lined out wide, moving from right to left. Spotted the football, their own 26.5-yard line. He lifts his right leg, takes the snap, drops back, looks near side, going back for the football at the 32 and diving is Ontario Drummond. He makes the reception, but he's going to be well shy of the first down. He's going to be about 3 yards shy, and so it's going to bring up now a fourth down situation, and that's going to bring out your non-regular punter. He's your regular kicker, Josh Smith, and we've seen some tough go at punting today for the Lions.
Yeah, EMCC's punting into the wind now, which has died considerably, but that particular play on that last offensive possession here, as a receiver, you've got to know where you need to be for a first down. The quarterback did throw the ball back behind him, but it's 4th down and 3. EMCC is going to have to punt it away.
Here's the snap back and getting his right foot into it, and it's an end over end, low line drive. It's going to bounce outside the numbers inside the 45, and will roll out of bounds inside the 40, I think, or maybe around the 40-yard line. Yes, just inside the 40 by about a half a yard. It'll roll out of bounds, and so Jones will get great starting field position. They have had great starting field position all day long. Glenn, it's just been a battle for EMCC to win field position today.
It really has, Jason. It's been tough. Johnny Moss, the starting punter for the Lions, fumbled the snap on the first punting attempt in the first half, so Josh Smith came in relief for the rest of the day, and it's been a tough sled.
Fortunately, though, Jones didn't get points off that miscue by the Lions. That's a false start because everybody moved but the center with the football. And
we've got offsetting penalties here at the end of the play, or maybe after the play. EMCC had a young man come through and hit the quarterback, Everett Cunningham, after the play was over.
And it's not going to be offsetting. I think they'll mark off 5 yards and then mark off 15. And correct me if I'm wrong, Glenn, but that should be, well, it would be a first down anyway because it's a first down play. So it's going to be, if they mark it off, they'll put it at midfield once the 5-yard penalty is marked off, and it'll be first down 10 to go from midfield if that's how they are going to handle this situation. I'm not a rules expert. They change all the time, but
False start.
It is a false start.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty. Everybody moved with the center. Also, there was a personal foul on number 95 defense. So it'll be 15-yard penalty this way. Net 10 yards.
It's Everett Cunningham. I beg your pardon. I asked the forgiveness of Eric Kitchen. I saw him walking off the field holding his face mask with his head ducked, and I thought he was the one that was going to pick up that foul. I was not watching. I saw the bodies all hitting each other, but I was looking still at the line of scrimmage, and I thought it was Eric Kitchen, so I beg your pardon there.
You had an after-the-play penalty that didn't actually have a play because it was false start, so there was no play.
So first down and 10 to go from midfield, so they do mark it off to the midfield line. The snap to Bennett, who gives it to his tailback, Granberry. He's going to fall forward down to the 49 with an inside handoff. It's 2nd and 9.
Seems like our defense have had their backs against the wall the whole ball game, and field position has been greatly taken by Jones, and they've taken advantage of it here in the second half, scoring on their first possession.
Ontario Johnson made the tackle on the last play. Gain of 1 by Granberry. He's going to be flanked off the right shoulder. Now shifts to the left shoulder of the quarterback. Stetson Bennett trips left wide side of the field. The snap from the 49 of the Lions. They throw it over on the far side. It's caught, almost batted down by EMCC at the 45. Now the ball's on the ground. Who comes up with it? The Lions are celebrating, but we'll wait for the official to make the call. Down to the 43.
So
now they're
far,
still now it is
it
EMCC football. The Lions will have it at their own 43. Caught and then fumbled. And there was a lot of bodies over there because I was watching the EMCC defender. He came and he shielded the receiver, and I couldn't see who it was who made the catch.
The officials have been reluctant to make that call on balls that we thought were fumbles here earlier in the game. But EMCC gets a big turnover. It's the second of the game for Jones. They threw an interception and then fumble the ball away there. So EMCC has it with a first down at 10. There is 6:12 to go here in the third quarter, all tied up at 7.
Yeah, that was Jones on the reception and the fumble, guys.
Yeah, it was Cy Martin Jr. who forced the fumble, and Shavaki Harrington fell on it for EMCC. Spotted the football, the 43, their own 43 right hash. High snap, pulled down by DeWeaver. Is going to leave it with the Notre Dame product, McIntosh, who's going to dive over the line of scrimmage. He's going to be undercut there, too, and it's going to be a very short gain, so it's going to bring up 2nd and long.
Brings on 2nd down.
Ground game has been virtually non-existent so far for EMCC. Maybe 1 or 2 decent runs, but Jones has done a great job up front getting back there and blowing up those runs.
So it's 2nd down and 10. They're going to officially say no gain. DeWeaver back to pass. Hit! He's sacked back at the 35. Huge loss of about 8 yards on the play. And the sack is LaMarcus Keys. To his credit, LaMarcus Keys gets back there and drops him. You're going to say he fell down at the 36. That's where his forward progress was stopped.
3 of the 4 rushers were back there all around the quarterback. The entire offensive line was standing up with no defenders near them, so they got through relatively easy at the point of attack, bringing up 3rd and long.
Loss of 7, so now 3rd down and 17. Sacked again. Oh, my goodness. Chai Hill will sack him between the hashes inside the 30.
The Weaver doing a good job just holding on to the ball there as he's being rocked a couple of times on those hits late in the play. 4th down and forever, and EMCC will punt, and they will be fortunate to punt the ball to where the first down marker would be, which would be the 48-yard line of Jones.
So they're going to place it at the 30. So Smith will step back to his own 15. That's where his heels are. He's waiting the snap back. Here it is. And it's a high kick. Jones is going to angle to the near side. Jones going to field it at the 40. He's going to go on the run. Runs it between a couple of would-be tacklers and dives up to the 50-yard line at the numbers. That's going to be about a 9 or 10-yard return for Jones. Well, give him an 11-yard return. He went down at the 50-yard line, but they're giving him the 49.
Yeah, he did a nice job, the punter did, just getting the ball out of there. A little bit of pressure coming from up front, and it got a nice spiral. It was a low driving spiral, though, turned over, and then came down quickly to the return man, which gave him plenty of room to make the catch and return.
Jones now firing out of the huddle. He's got 24 to snap it. Here's the snap to Bennett. It's a fade pattern, and he has Rogers who catches it over his shoulder at the numbers. Gets free inside the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Jones, and they're on top. 13-7 pending the PAT.
Shabaki Harrington just got burned really bad there and gave up on the play after the receiver made the catch. Was not pursuing, therefore he was able to get into the end zone very easily. They were looking for one-on-one coverage, and they got it on the near side, and the quarterback threw that 50-50 ball, and his receiver did a nice job on the completion.
49-yard pitch and catch from Bennett to Rogers. We'll await the snap back for the PAT. The hold is by Harrison, and the kick by Thompson's through the uprights and good. Now EMCC, instead of getting the ball to try to take the lead, they've got to get the ball and try to tie the game up with 4:14 to go in the 3rd. And with every single minute they let Jones hang around, Jones gains more and more confidence, and you just don't want to see EMCC press here.
Yeah, that's with any team. They start gaining confidence if they hang around, keep the score close. The Lions they've got all the confidence in the world. They've done it a couple of times this year. They've driven down and scored when they had to, and we'll see if they can get it down to at least get into field goal range here. It's going to be really important to get some points and try to steal back some of this momentum.
EMCC trying to win their 3rd straight state championship, and it's in danger right now. There's still plenty of time to play. There's still 19 minutes left in this game. 14-7. Jones on top. Thompson's going to come out and kick it from left to right. He's teeing it up at the 35 now. Ontario Drummond across the way from us on the far hash will stand inside the 5. DJ Clayton will be near hash inside the 5. Thompson's going to run upon it here in a moment and kick it from left to right. Make sure his kick team is ready. Now he's going to jog up some 10 yards to the football and boots it with his right foot, and it's high end over end. It's going to be taken at the 1-yard line, and it was fair caught. So that means you can take it, though, at the 25-yard line. New rule this year in college football.
Yeah, and it's a smart rule. It protects those guys on returns, and it's really beneficial here. If you've just given up a big play for a touchdown, you don't want to get those guys are going to be coming down there with a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence, and you don't want to give them the benefit of a big stop inside your own 20-yard line. So you need to get the ball out at the 25. Start with it was a great job on calling for that fair catch.
At first I'm thinking, oh, what's he doing? I thought maybe he was just inside the goal line, but then it dawned on me, oh wait, that's a new rule in college football. Snap from the 25 on the right hash, inside handoff to McIntosh, and he doesn't have anything up the middle, tries to bounce to the outside on the right side, and is able to get up to around the 27, so that will be a gain of 2. He's been averaging, and that's
Ulmer is in the game now at quarterback.
Okay, I thought you were trying to tell me that wasn't McIntosh, but Ulmer is playing quarterback for EMCC in the shotgun.
Just trying a different look, different speed out of the backfield. Ulmer is a guy that can do numerous things.
Back to pass, fires it near side out in the flat, caught at the 28-yard line by Drummond, and he gets between 2 defenders, and nobody will catch him. He's between the numbers on the sideline, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Ontario Drummond, his 2nd of the game. Oh my goodness gracious, that's from 74 yards.
He didn't hot dog at the end of that one either. He turned it on when he got between those two defenders. It was real similar to what happened to us down here on this end of the field. Our defensive back missed the initial stop and then just let the guy go by, and that's what Drummond did and turned it upfield, took it to the house. And you talk about taking the wind out of the sail from Jones, who had just scored 2 touchdowns here in the second half. Great job, and now we have a penalty flag. It's going to be a substitution infraction.
I tell you, he stiff-armed a man around the 30-yard line, between the 30 and 35, and then all of a sudden just ran between 2 defenders, and they ran into each other, and there was no way they were going to catch him. That's his second touchdown of the game, his 11th of the season. And I apologize, I was talking over the white hat, and he's given the indication that it's a penalty on EMCC. Glenn?
Yep. It was a substitution infraction, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be substitution, but I think they've got one on the sideline as well.
Interesting. Okay. So it's going to be a little extra point kick for Smith. I think it's a sideline warning on EMCC. Good call, Glenn. So after the penalty yardage, they'll take it from the 2 to the 7-yard line. So it's a 25-yard extra point. Oh, wait, the snapback for Burton. Here it is. Here's the hold by Goler, and the end-over-end kick is no good. It is no good.
You know, it's those tight penalties. When you get a little momentum, you make a crazy play like that, having too many players out on the field for an extra point, and it backs it up and makes it a completely different situation for the kicker. And now a 14-13 for the Bobcats. They get a little momentum back out of the end of that because of the missed extra point.
3:31 to go here in the third quarter. We'll be back with a kick to the Bobcats in 30 seconds. This is EMCC Football on the Lions Radio Network. Taking it on the run is Rogers in the middle of the field. Gets out across the 25 and up to about the 28-yard line. So roughly an 8-yard return for Rogers. And they're going to be moving from left to right.
I think that was Boykin there on the end of the play making the stop. EMCC with good coverage, too. They were all down there all over the return guy, 3 or 4 guys. So it's going to be a first down for Jones, and EMCC would like to get a stop here. They'd like to give their opportunity for the offense to get another play. But how about Ontario? Ulmer coming into the game at quarterback and making 2 nice touchdown passes and giving EMCC 2 scores for the day.
Taekwon Ulmer with his only 2 touchdown passes of the year. They have come in this game. Snap from the 28. Now we have whistles. And I don't see any penalty flags. Yes, there is a penalty. It is a delay of game on Jones. And they can ill afford to start shooting themselves in the foot now. They've got a chance if they score, they could take the lead. It's 14-13, EMCC on top. And by the way, John Velasco also in on the special teams tackle.
Actually, Jones County on top 14-13.
14-13, yeah, I beg your pardon. So that missed PAT was what kept EMCC from tying it up. So first down and 15 to go after the penalty. Spot of the football is the 23. Bennett's going to take it himself. He's going to go around the left side, tries to get a couple of blocks and can't. He's going to have to walk out of bounds around the 28-yard line. So he will gain 5 yards, though, on the play. That'll bring up now second down.
Bennett so far has had good instincts there in the pocket. He feels the pressure, and when he feels it, he doesn't second think himself. He just takes off running. Got the touchdown run here earlier in the game for them, and a nice pickup there to just get positive yardage for that last play.
Trips near side, a single receiver to the left. 14-13, Bobcats on top. I misspoke just a moment ago, and I beg your pardon. 3 minutes now to play here in the third quarter. The snap from the left hash, rolling near side, squaring and firing, and it's caught 33-yard line, across 35 up to the 40. Making the reception is going to be Ja'Cory Rankin, a freshman receiver from Port Gibson, standing 5'8" tall, weighing 173. And that'll move the chains.
Brody King before the play, Jason, and Hicks swapped places. King was running free deep down the field. They'll go back to that play here in a moment.
So it's first down, 10 to go. Spotted the football, their own 41 near hash. Twins left, single receiver near side. Tight end strong to the left. Granberry's going to be flanked now off the left shoulder of Bennett, looking to the near sideline. Now he's trying to disagree with the play call there, as they're going to go with a four-man front with EMCC. Snap to Bennett, going to leave it with Granberry. Tries to get around near side, bounces outside the numbers and steps out of bounds at the 49-yard line near side. Nice gain on first down, so it'll bring up a second down and short, gaining about 7 yards on the play.
They were running to the short side of the field, off right end, and he picked up nice yardage. We lost contain over here on this near side, and he was able to pick up some good yardage. And this opens up the playbook, too. Second down and about 3.
So second down and 3 after the 7-yard gain by Granberry. Snap from the near hash of the 49. They're going to pull it from his belly, come around near side. Does Bennett? He's got the first down and more. He's going to step out of bounds inside the 40 of the Lions.
Bennett's speed is better than it looks when he's running. He's picking up good chunks of yards, but he just runs so smooth. EMCC is backing up here on defense. It's going to be a first down and 10 for Jones at the 38-yard line.
I tell you what, Iowa Western rooting hard for Jones today. They're number 3 in the polls. They need an upset here as Jones comes around near side, and it's going to be Granberry. He's going to dive down to the 31 as he kept it between the hash and the numbers as he cut downfield. When he came around the right side, it's going to bring up another second and short situation. So they're doing a good job on first down here this drive.
Yeah, they're doing a really nice job picking up yardage, doing what they have to do, making up second down and shorts. You get second down and shorts, third down and shorts. You've got really good play calling on first down.
So second down and short from the 31. Ball going to be middle of the field. The snap to Bennett, turns to his left, hands it off to Granberry, cuts downfield behind the left guard. It's going to have the first down as he gets inside the 30, and he's going to march down to the 26-yard line. And Jones with an impressive drive so far. And Glenn, that mood on the EMCC sideline right now is kind of shocked.
Yeah, Jason, hadn't been able to get a stop here. Defense has been on the field a long time. Offense is ready to get back on the field.
High snap, Bennett pulls it down, gives it to Granberry. He's popped as he got around the left side, and he is going to lose yardage back at the 27-yard line.
Everett Cunningham, who was swapping, moving positions actually to get outside, did not get an opportunity to get down, but got right by his blocker and made a big hit in the backfield. And you talk about needing a big play, that's it. As the third quarter comes to a conclusion, EMCC's trailing 14-13.
An important 15 minutes for EMCC coming up, and an important defensive series right here. The Lions have got to hold strong. They're holding on to number 1 in the country. They need to win this game to make it to the national championship game. Does EMCC win 3 state titles in a row? We've got 15 minutes to find out. Back in 30, you're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. Ellisville, Mississippi, 15 minutes has been put on the scoreboard. We're being told there's a lot of folks watching from around the world. I got a text message earlier and said, really, around the world? Yes, EMCC is global after the Netflix series Last Chance U. We certainly hope you're enjoying the weather where you are. It is definitely football weather in the South here in mid-November. It's quite chilly at the ballpark. Here's the snap, little end around, and Jones is going to be tackled back at the 33. Huge defensive play that EMCC needed right there. And LaShawn Polino Bell, Eric Kitchen around there to make the play.
Bell did a great job staying home so many times you'll see defensive ends crash down to try to go backside and make a play if the running back cuts back up. But I'll tell you, he stayed home and waited and was there to blow that one up. 3rd down and long now for Jones Community College. They are leading 14-13 with about 14:25 to go in the game. So big play here.
This may be the most important defensive play of the season for EMCC. The snap, they come on the blitz, they hit him, but he gets rid of the ball. Granberry gets slung down at the 35-yard line. And so EMCC is going to come up big here. It's going to be 4th down now and long.
Jaquez Akins, the young man causing the pressure on the quarterback, making him get rid of the ball before he wanted to. So they'll send out, looks like their punting team, Jason, is they're going to play it safe here and try to pin the Lions deep. They'll be kicking into the wind here. EMCC's got it behind them for the rest of the 4th quarter.
Jones had such momentum on this drive, and you had to kind of think that if they scored here, that might be a little hard to come back from, just from a mental standpoint. Oh, no, and the ball is going to roll dead inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. It went laterally once it bounced at the 5-yard line. It rolled out to the left, and Jones is going to down it at the 4, and EMCC will have to go 96 yards to get a touchdown.
Lions ought to be pretty comfortable from playing inside their own 5-yard line. This is the second drive that they've started there, their 3rd drive that they've started inside their own 10-yard line. A big series here. EMCC, the least significant thing, or the least thing that you want to have happen on this drive is you want to get some yardage and try to get the ball back out where you can pin them back on their end of the field and force them to make a mistake.
Ulmer still in at quarterback, and he fakes the give, goes straight up the middle and bowls his way over the 5-yard line. It gets up to around the 8. So that's going to be a 4-yard gain. That'll bring up now 2nd and 6. Ulmer looks like he has taken over at quarterback in this game. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes. Both have been to Drummond, and that's been EMCC's only scores of the game, and they missed the PAT. So it's 14-13. They trail by a point with 13-12 to go in the game.
Messiah DeWeaver's been slow on his reads today, so Ulmer is there a little quicker.
McIntosh going to bounce it to the near side, has some running room, goes through some defenders, and he's going to be knocked off his feet at the 22-yard line. 1st down and more for EMCC, and that's the best run of the day for Deion McIntosh, the Notre Dame transfer.
Yeah, you look at the quarterback, Ulmer, and he brings such a great rushing skill into the game. It's going to open up McIntosh's ability to run the ball as well. Those defenders are going to have to look at 2 guys. They've got to try to decide who they're going to stop. That time, EMCC made the right decision, giving it to McIntosh.
Over in the shotgun, they come after Ulmer, and he's going to run past that would-be tackler, and he goes straight up the gut across the 25 up to the 28-yard line. Nice run on 1st down by Taekwon Ulmer. You hit the nail on the head. He opens up some opportunities because he's a threat with his legs in the backfield where Messiah DeWeaver is not.
Yeah, and also he throws the ball well enough where those defenders, they're going to have to cover those wide receivers or stay close. His touch has really picked up over the last few ball games as he's been a quarterback.
And Ulmer from nearby Laurel, Mississippi, and Jones wants to talk about it. It's going to bring up now a 2nd down and medium situation after the 5-yard gain by Taekwon Ulmer. We'll be back in 30 seconds to Ellisville. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. Championship game of the Mississippi Association of Community and Junior Colleges. It's now 2nd and 5. Taekwon Ulmer from nearby Laurel, Mississippi, basically playing in his hometown, has thrown 2 touchdown passes today. It's 2nd and 5. He's in the shotgun, takes the snap, direct quarterback run around the left side. He's going to get past defenders and get the 1st down. He's going to get up around the 33-yard line. He's going to have enough for a 1st down. Taekwon Ulmer all of a sudden has really put this team on his shoulders on this drive.
Instead of going right back up the middle, a little delay, and then he countered backside. And when he did that, he was able to pick up plenty of yards for a 1st down before Jones put him down about the 34-yard line.
Homer in the shotgun. First down, 10 to go. Spotted the football just across their own 33. Moving from left to right. Shadows starting to hit the field now as the sun sets to the west, which is behind us. 11:40 to go in this game. EMCC trails by a point, 14-13. Shotgun snap, fade pattern left side, looking for Drummond, and it's just over his outstretched fingertips inside the 45-yard line and thrown out of bounds. That's inside the 45 of Jones, and EMCC will have it now 2nd and 10. Spotted the football close to their own 34-yard line.
Well, it goes as an incomplete pass, but I thought it was a pretty good throw that time by Ulmer over the left shoulder of Drummond. Hit out of bounds, so it was only where Drummond could get the ball.
Twin receivers either side of the formation. Ball left hash, moving from left to right, the Lions. Jones with a 4-man front. Taekwon Ulmer lifts his right leg, now receives the snap, looking left, fires it left sideline, and it's off the fingertips of Reddix, who was the intended receiver at around the 45-yard line. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. Now all of a sudden EMCC finds themselves in a 3rd and long, and they haven't been good on 3rd and long today.
Rogers was there in defense for the Bobcats. Reddix, you got to make that catch there on 2nd down. You're getting some momentum. Your team is moving the ball. You got to do and go above and beyond, make those plays. 3rd down and 10, so a big 3rd down here for the Lions.
3rd down and 10, spotted the football, the 34 left hash. Twin receivers either side of the formation. Snap to Ulmer. Dropping back, now will be flushed out of the pocket, rolls near side, it's going to tuck it and run it, and he's making one man miss, another man miss, trying to go back, reverse his field, and he's going to be tripped up and dropped at the line of scrimmage as he was running laterally. Great job, though, of some of his blockers setting him up, but a penalty flag flies. We'll check and wait and see what this is.
Flag on the play.
That penalty flag came from way back behind the play, way downfield.
And it's going to be a block in the back.
A block at the back. You normally see a holding or a block in the back when you have a play that takes that long to develop.
Holding, guys, against the line.
So it's going to be holding. Okay, well, regardless, that's going to bring up now 4th down, and so the penalty is going to be declined, and EMCC is going to have to punt it away, trailing by a point, 14-13 with 11:10 to go here in the 4th quarter. That's going to bring Josh Smith out there.
He's got the win now, so he really needs to get the ball up high.
His heels are going to be on the 20-yard line. They'll snap it from the 34 left hash. Manuel Jones will stand at his own 30 over on the far hash. He has to pick it up. It's blocked again, and it's going to roll around and roll dead now as EMCC falls on it at the 36-yard line. And special teams, we talked about it in the pregame show, as John David Rutherford is going to come up and block that kick. Oh, goodness. It's just been a tough go in special teams today with 2 blocked punts and a missed PAT.
Early in the season, EMCC was doing all the blocking. They were making all the plays in special teams, but here in the last few ball games, they've had great difficulty catching the punt and great difficulty getting it off because there's not enough blocking. Those guys are not holding those guys at the line of scrimmage quite long enough.
Guys, it's a matter of catching the ball. I mean, that's all it is. We got a good long snapper. He gets it back with a lot of zip. But your kickers and your punter has to catch the football, and they've had a hard time. It's a little bit colder. The ball is a little bit slick, but you still got to handle the football.
Timeout called by EMCC. We'll be back in 30 seconds to Ellisville. This is the MACJC State Championship game on the EMCC Football Network. Of EMCC so far perfect in MACJC State title games, but trailing 14-13 here in the 4th quarter with 11:03 to go, and Jones has the ball at the EMCC 37-yard line.
And we're going to have a substitution infraction against Jones to start this possession.
Yeah, the White Hats mic went out, but you called it correctly, Jonathan, and so they just started playing Journey's Don't Stop Believing a second ago in here. Felt like I was back at Davis Wade Stadium in Starkville. But obviously they're playing that for different reasons as they're trying to keep this crowd into it, and the crowd's been enjoying it. And with every ticking of the clock, every moment, Jones is still in this game and leading. They gain more confidence. Back to pass, fires it wide open in the flat near side, and it's caught between the numbers on the sideline by Jones. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 36-yard line. So it's going to bring up now a second down.
I'm not sure if it was Joseph Anderson or who it was, but there was some confusion in the defensive backfield as to who was taking him as he came all the way across the field. He was wide open, and nice job to complete the ball. Even though it was only a 5-yard pickup, it gets him back to the original line of scrimmage.
Second down and 10 now. Penalty still hurts, so you only got those penalty yardage back, and you lost a down for it. The snap to Bennett, inside handoff. Granberry's going to have a big hole up the middle. He's got the first down and more, and he's sandwiched at around the 21-yard line.
And off to 23, Granberry.
Boy, Granberry just went shooting through that hole right up the middle like he was shot out of a cannon.
That's been a strong point for the year for the Lions, but today Jones is doing a great job blocking up front. That's the only thing you can say. They're moving those defenders and creating big lanes for the running back to run through, because he was running full speed when he took the handoff, and he didn't stop full speed until he hit the ground.
You've got to hold him to a field goal attempt here if you're EMCC defensively. Bennett in the shotgun, the snap from the middle of the field. It's going to leave up Granberry, and he's going to be sandwiched up around the line of scrimmage and drop for no gain.
Granberry on the carry.
Just inside the 21-yard line, moving from right to left. So Jones College in EMCC territory. Aikens out there. Looks like he's dancing around. I think he's just trying to stay warm. It's a cold afternoon in Ellisville.
Most of the guys have on sleeves under their jerseys. Ontario Johnson, it looks like the only one out there who does not.
12 to snap it, but they're set, ready to go. Bennett the shotgun, high snap, pull down from the 21, going to keep it himself, has a hole. And he's going to fumble the ball, and EMCC falls on it at the 11. Oh, big defensive play. Boy, defense is made up for the lack of special teams today. An interception and a couple of fumble recoveries, and it's going to be Fred Hervey's going to fall on another one.
Well, he's always around the ball, Jason. He and Joseph Anderson both back there deep. I think Anderson may have been one of the guys who got back there and fell on it, but the quarterback just lost it. It bounced toward the Jones goal. EMCC jumps on it. 9:19 to go in the game, down by 1. You needed momentum. You got some momentum back.
Correction, Fred Hervey forced it, and it was Anderson that fell on it.
Hervey always, he's got to be one of the breakout players this season for EMCC on defense.
That could be the defensive play that saves the season. First down, 2 to go from their own 11. In motion is Boykin from near side to far. The snap to Ulmer. Fakes the give to McIntosh. Comes around near side. Has plenty of real estate. Across 20, 25. Steps out of bounds around the 30-yard line. And that's going to be a first down for EMCC.
It's not going to show up in the stats sheet, but Adrian Miller, what a job blocking downfield for Ulmer there to finish off the end of that play. EMCC out to the 29-yard line. They need to continue to drive. They need to continue to move the ball. Give that defense some rest. They've had their backs against the wall all night.
Spot of the football officially the 29, their own 29. Ulmer in the shotgun with twins right and left. McIntosh shifts now from the left to the right hip of Tyquan Ulmer. 8:43 to go in the game and counting. Ulmer, fade pattern to Ontario Drummond, and it's knocked away. Great defensive play by Jones around midfield.
Looked like there should have been a flag there. I think the defender got his hands all over the arms of Drummond when he was reaching for the ball. He had no opportunity to make a play.
So second down and 10 for their own 29. Adrian Miller will be the lone wide out near side. Caleb Reddick, slot receiver far side. Ontario Drummond will be the other wide out. He'll be flanked out wide to the left of Caleb Reddick's. Over 1,000 yards, by the way, is Deion McIntosh today for the season. Ulmer in the shotgun. Snaps it with 3 to snap it. Lizo McIntosh, big hole up the middle across 40. He makes a couple of misses. He's on his way to the end zone. He's inside the 30, 25, 20. He angles to the left, 10, 5, touchdown, EMCC. Deion McIntosh, 17 touchdowns on the ground this season. And now the Lions are on top.
71-yard run, Jason, right up the middle of the field. He showed that tremendous balance as he was hit a couple times. He just bounced off, not to be denied. picked up that 71 yards mostly on his own effort. Great job, and a good job up front blocking by the EMCC offensive line.
On offense today, it's been big plays for the Lions. It's been the difference. We'll await the PAT.
2-point conversion for EMCC.
Oh, they're going to go for two. You're right. They are. They're coming out lining up for the 2-point conversion. Deion McIntosh made a couple of men miss, and once he got inside the 50-yard line, there were no other maroon jerseys. A couple of recovered, but he flanked to his left and was able to outrun them. Ulmer's going to fire at far side of the end zone. It's good. 2-point conversion. And Reddix catches it as he slides to his knees.
It's going to be a penalty flag against EMCC, I believe, as they were moving when the ball was snapped. It came in late, but this entire right side of the offense was moving at the time the ball was snapped.
So we'll await word from the White Hat here momentarily. So they're going to call it incomplete. But it doesn't really matter because the penalty is going to be on EMCC anyway. Well, at least that's what we're thinking. So the White Hat is taking his time to make this announcement.
Illegal shift on the offense. That penalty declined. The try is no good.
Okay, so the penalty is on EMCC, but it's declined. And so
I thought the initial, looking at that initially, that ball hit the ground right out there in front of the wide receiver at the pylon for an incomplete pass, but the official right over it said that it was good. I thought he had a lot better eye coverage of it than I could have, but nevertheless, it's 19-14. EMCC has taken the lead in this game under the brand new 1,000-yard runner, Deion McIntosh.
Well, he had the 1,000 yards before that run, but he really tacked onto it. So he'd have to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage a lot to be able to not have 1,000 yards for the season. So he's not in danger zone there at all. Deion McIntosh, like I said about Drummond, he'll make somebody in D1 football happy next year. The Notre Dame transfer out of the state of Florida. And so here comes EMCC's kick team out here. They'll tee it up at the 35, and Smith will be kicking from left to right here momentarily. Back deep to receive. He's going to be Emmanuel Jones. He'll be across the way from us. The EMCC crowd is having some fun across the way. The kick team encouraging them to get on their feet and cheer.
Yeah, the DJ is trying to up the music loud enough to where you can't hear the EMCC band across the way.
High sky kick, and it's going to bounce inside the 20 and be taken by the return man on a one-hop across 25 between the numbers and the near hash. And he's going to be tackled around the 31-yard line. And that's going to be Rogers who is going to return that one up to the 31 after taking it around the 20. So about an 11-yard return. 8:22 to go in the game. Lions on top 19-14. Now ball's in the court of Jones. They have a chance to march down the field and regain the lead.
Braden Boykin doesn't show up a lot in stat sheets, Jason, but he does little things very, very well. And that time he come through and made the hit on the return man and put him down at the end of that run. He's not a big guy, but he makes great plays. He makes big plays on the football field.
Ball's going to be placed on the near hash at their own 31. Trips is wide side of the field to the right. Bennett will call for the football, receive it, fakes like he's going to throw to the left side, then goes running straight up the middle, and he's going to get up to the 34, so that will be a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up now 2nd and 7.
Run pass option that time for Bennett as he had an open receiver on that right side. He was looking at that screen, but EMCC lined up with nobody over the guards or center, so the quarterback thought he was going to have an opportunity right up the middle of the field, but the Lions closed in, made the stop after only a 1.5 yard pickup.
Correction, gain of 2, so it's 2nd down and 8 officially on the scoreboard. 7:50 to go in the game, clock rolling. EMCC with a 4-man front. Trips right once again. And it's a zone read play. They're going to leave it, though, with Granberry, and he comes behind left tackle and gets up to the 35 up the near hash. So that will be a gain of about 1 on the play. So officially the spot of the football was the 34. So now 3rd down and 7. So after the gain of 1 by Granberry, this is a big play here for Jones.
All 3rd downs are important, but coming into this 4th quarter, both teams were 3 of 11 on 3rd down, so not particularly good on getting a 1st down.
7-13, 7-12, clock rolling, 4th quarter. Bennett, shotgun snap, straight drop, looks, fires over the middle, and it is almost intercepted by EMCC, but caught by Rogers down to the 46. Oh, it went right over the Lions' fingertips and caught by Rogers down to the 46-yard line of EMCC.
That was Hervey back there. He thought he had an interception. He jumped. Looked like the ball went right through his fingertips as it flipped over and changed trajectory, and the receiver just made a nice play. He just caught the ball and went down. He didn't try to do anything fancy, so a first down for Jones.
Huge play for Jones on third down. I mean, if Hervey just gets his fingertips on it and changes the trajectory of that football, they're punting. He didn't have to intercept it. The snap, he pulls it from the belly of Granberry, does Bennett, and tries to go up the middle and bounces to the near side numbers at around the 41-yard line, so it will be a short gain. I was going to say his knee goes down at the 43. So,
I'm sorry. The last two drives defensively, EMCC's done very well on those zone reads. They're getting back and getting the quarterback, or they're taking away the tailback, and then they're getting the quarterback before he's able to get anything going. Second down and 9 here, so we'll see what they dial up offensively for Jones.
6:10 and counting to go in the fourth quarter. Second down and long. Around 8, here's the snap, play action, firing it to the numbers near side. It is caught, and then holding on is Anderson as the receiver is going to pull him inside the 35. And I think that is going to be done. Tavius Porter it is, the freshman tight end, 6'2", 246, out of Heidelberg, Mississippi.
Porter lines up. He's listed as tight end, but he lines up at that H-back position, the primarily for most of the time. And does a good job blocking, but a good job receiving that football for a first down.
Twins right, single receiver near side. First down, 2 to go, down to the 32-yard line of EMCC. Ball snap for the near hash. Play action. It's going to be a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. They get the quarterback, Bennett, who tried to go straight up the middle after the play action on that RPO, and is going to be dropped for a yard loss back at the 33.
The officials didn't need any help there, but Joseph Anderson was signaling keep the clock running. It's at 5:11.
Yeah. 5:09. Jones with the second down and 11 situation will snap it near their own 34. It's between the 33 and 34-yard line. Not their own, EMCC. And going straight up the middle is Bennett, and Middleton is going to wrap him up at the 35 and drop him. It's another loss on the play, and it'll bring up now 3rd and long.
The Lions have not blitzed very much today. Those 4 defensive linemen, their primary responsibility is get back, put pressure on the quarterback. They are doing that, bringing up 3rd down and long after that sack behind the line of scrimmage. And we'll see what Jones County tries to do here if EMCC were to dial up any pressure.
Trips near side, single receiver wide side of the field to the right. EMCC showing pressure. Here they come, and they flush Bennett out of the pocket, throws at the last second. It's in and almost intercepted by Sweeney. He should have had it at the 16-yard line.
Nothing in front of him but green grass if he had just made that catch. The Lions had a defender that looked like maybe tipped the ball before it got back there to him. But if he had caught that, it was a touchdown for EMCC.
No
Nevertheless,
doubt.
It's an opportunity to take the ball here off the punt as Jones will do the smart thing and try to pin the Lions deep with 4:25 to go in the game. We're down to crunch time.
Fred Barnum is going to kick this one away. I think he's their pooch punter. Timeout EMCC. He's the backup quarterback, and Buddy Stevens is livid with one of his coaches across the way.
Middleton tried to come on the field late, and Buddy wasn't sure if that would have gotten us a substitution infraction or not, so he had to call timeout. He was not happy there. Probably happened right over there in front of Glenn. Buddy was just not happy.
Let's go to Glenn on the field. Glenn?
Yeah, Jason, that wasn't a normal punter. That was number 11 that came in. So they were setting up for a fake. And there's a little bit of screwiness there, but anytime you see the not normal punter, when the regular punter's done an outstanding job all day long, pinned East Mississippi inside the 5 two times I know today. So very wise timeout right here.
Yeah, Hayden had pinned 18 inside the 20 coming in. I said pooch punter. Of course, Hayden can do that, but hey, I guess usually when you put like a backup quarterback in there, unless you're Matt Wyatt from the late 90s, early 2000s at Mississippi State, it's not a pooch punt.
Yeah, Fred Barnum is listed as a quarterback.
He's still back out there. We'll see what he's going to do. TJ Clayton will stand and around his own 7-yard line, middle of the field. It is a fake, and he rolls to the right, now fires back to the left, has a man caught. He's inside the 30, inside the 25, down to the 24. It's not going to be enough.
He got it.
No, not going to be enough. And EMCC is going to take over at their own 24-yard line.
Why don't you cover that, though? Taking a timeout, noticing the backup quarterback is out there at punter. That guy was wide open.
Yeah, but they hit him, Jonathan. They hit him in the formation, in the backfield behind the line of scrimmage. He kind of looked like he was part of the line of scrimmage, but he wasn't. He was back just enough to be called off the line, which made him an eligible receiver. But to the defense, he looks like a normal lineman, and they kind of hit his jersey. He comes up to the line with his chest down where they can't see his jersey number, and that's the deception of it.
All right, thank you for that inside reporting on the field by Glenn Beard. 4:14 to go here in this fourth quarter of play. Twin receivers near side, Twins to the left for EMCC as they take over. And let's see if they can kill this clock and win a state championship for the third straight year. Taekwondo Olmer hit, drop back at the 20. Woo. And forward progress is stopped around the 21-yard line, so he's going to lose 2 yards on the play, and then it'll bring up now second down and 12. It was a zone read play, and then as soon as he pulled it from the belly, he was popped.
This is an important time to be poised in the ballgame, not only for the quarterback, for the entire offensive team. You don't want to get some kind of crazy penalty where the other team incites something. You want to be really smart, play really well here for EMCC.
So second down and 12 from their own 21. 3:38, clock rolling here in the fourth quarter. There's 7 to snap it. They're showing pressure. Here they come after Olmer. The EMCC picks it up, but then Olmer ends up getting dropped back at the 15. He was unable to set up and find anybody. That's almost like a coverage sack because EMCC was able to pick up that blitz. They gave an extra second or two to Olmer, but he was going to be in trouble once he went straight up the middle and he was looking around. Olmer's not the tallest guy either to see over the offensive line. He's 6'1", 180, a sophomore from right here in Laurel, Mississippi. It's going to bring up now a third down and long from their own 15. They've got to get to the 34-yard line for a first down.
Jones brings in the nickel package, so they're expecting a pass, obviously, with third down and long, bringing out extra defensive backs.
3rd and 19 to be exact. Ball on their own 15, close to the near hash. Olmer, quarterback run around the near side, slips and falls down at the line of scrimmage. He slipped at the 14, fell forward to the 15. So the Lions are going to have to punt it away with 2:43 to go in this game, up 19-14. This is a scary situation. The Lions having to punt it away deep inside their own territory because they've struggled on special teams this afternoon.
Yeah, and you think the punter is going to be standing back around his own goal line when he receives the punt, receives the snapback.
We'll pause and be back in 30 seconds. Timeout on the field. This is EMCC football on the Lions Radio Network. Ellisville MACJC state championship game as the Lions will bring out their punter Josh Smith, who will have his heels on the goal line. As you mentioned, Jonathan, you're correct. The Lions will snap it back. Here's the kick, and he just gets it off, and it's a high, beautiful spiral. Yeah, Jones has to catch it over his shoulder as he was backpedaling, gets to the 40, up to the 41, and he's tackled there. Shivaki Harrington will drop him at the numbers at the 41-yard line, and EMCC who won the day with that punt there, and it was the best punt and punt coverage of the afternoon.
He saved that one to the time where he had to have it, and boy, he really got into that punt, deep punt, turned over, and the return man caught it over his shoulder, so he was running backwards, and when he tried to turn to come back upfield, EMCC was there waiting on him. So they've got to go 59 yards in 2 minutes and 34 seconds to win this game.
Here's the game here on this drive. Jones has it down 19-14. Bennett's in the shotgun, twin receivers either side of the formation. They're at their own 41-yard line. Bennett will call for the football. He's back to pass. Steps up in the pocket and is hit as he throws, and it is intercepted. No, incomplete. Oh, we all thought it was intercepted. The coaches are about to tear that box up to our left.
So did the entire EMCC team. They thought it was interception, and it looked like it was. It would be great to be able to look back on that one on a replay, but unable to see it. So We'll have a 2nd down and 10 for Jones, and they're going to try to snap it pretty quick here.
So now they look back to the near sideline to Bennett. Same formation as last. It's going to be Edwards who's flanked off the right shoulder of Bennett, who will receive the shotgun snap from his own 41. Throws it near sideline and diving out of bounds. It's incomplete.
They're going to say he caught the ball, but he was out of bounds.
Out of bounds, yeah.
He is arguing his completion there with both officials, but he's not going to win that argument. They're going to bring the ball way back here to the 41-yard line again, so there's 2:23 to go. 3rd down. You know this is a 2-down play here. They're just going to be looking for enough yardage to try to pick up some here on 3rd and then try to get it on 4th.
It's like, do you come after him or do you go back at coverage? EMCC looks like they're going to cover, not gamble on the blitz. Ontario Johnson, your middle linebacker, is going to go back in coverage on the snap, firing it. Fade pattern on the far sideline. Intercepted over his shoulder at the 30-yard line. It's Anderson, Jacob Anderson. And EMCC has won the day with turnovers. That's the 4th taken. 19-14 with 2:17 to go. That may have done it.
Just before kickoff, you asked Glenn the keys to the game. Interceptions were his big key. Glenn, that was a great job by the defensive back.
Yeah, it really was. The wide receiver fell down. He wanted interference, but it was not interference. He got tangled up on his own feet, but an outstanding job by the defensive back coming over the top, getting the interception. 2:17 left to go in this ball game, guys. Still a lot of football left to play. Both teams 1 timeout apiece. 19-14, the Lions lead. They've got to hang on.
Jacob Anderson, 6'3", 200-pounder from Puckett High School. Caught it over his shoulder. Momentum took him out of bounds.
So we had a timeout for EMCC there, or change of possession, and now we've got a timeout for Jones, and the coach over here is just livid.
Absolutely livid with the white hat. Back in 30, 2:17 to go to play for a national championship. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. Out, or is it another time? I thought they were calling. Yeah, well, they just said Jones called the timeout, and he was indicating Jones, and now all of a sudden there is no timeout. 2:17 to go.
He had indicated Jones first, and then EMCC, and then figured it out. It was Jones that called it.
Ulmer with the shotgun snap from their own 33. He's going to be hit, and he's dropped inside the 30. Clock rolling with 2:10 to go here in the 4th quarter.
And the Bobcats cannot stop the football. So in a 1st down or 2, and you've got to win here. So you got to really be smart here, not lose yardage there. We lost 3 or 4 yards. That's not conducive to what it's going to take to win this ball game. You've got to get another 1st down or so, run out this clock, and not give it back to Jones.
I think depending on how much time goes off the clock between now and when you get that 1st down, I think a 1st down at this point would do it. So it's 2nd down and 15 after the loss of 5. Everybody's pretty much lined up around that line of scrimmage. They've gone heavy there. And Ulmer's going to snap it, come around the near side. He's going to be hit, spins to his left, tries to cut upfield, gets across the 30 up to the 33-yard line. He's going to get most of those 5 yards back, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down with 1:20 to go in the game.
And they're going to try to wait and take as much time off the play clock as they can. It's 28-27 on the play clock. 1:11 on the game clock.
Play clock down to 20. Ulmer looking on the far sideline. EMCC's not set yet. 1 minute to go in this state championship game. The Lions are less than a minute away from advancing to Pittsburgh, Kansas, to the national championship game. Ulmer with 3rd down and 10. Here's the snap. He goes around the left side, and he's going to be tackled around the line of scrimmage across the way. And did he get out of bounds? He did with 41.1 seconds left.
Well, that was a big mistake.
Yeah, he should have tried to stop on a dime and cut up field, Glenn.
Yeah, he goes out of bounds. He was trying to get around the edge right there. They had the edge set, trying to get up the side to get the first down, but he's going to come up short.
Oh, goodness.
Fourth down, clock stop.
Yeah, this makes you nervous with 41.1 seconds to go. This is a huge punt here. The Lions with the best punt of the day just a moment ago. And now we have a timeout called by EMCC, and I think that's going to do it for their timeouts. They haven't taken it off the board, but it looks like they only had one just a moment ago, and they call the timeout now. We're going to keep it right here. 41.1 seconds left in the MACJC State Championship game. Drama here in Ellisville.
Yeah, I don't think there was a timeout call there.
Okay.
EMCC was trying to wait till the play clock.
Oh, they take the
Delay
delay
of
of
the
game.
game.
Okay.
Boy, I would not have taken that here.
Yeah. 41.1 seconds left. That backs the football up inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. Josh Smith, who's not your normal punter, he's been the punter today. He's your place kicker and kickoff specialist. He's going to kick it to Jones, who's going to stand inside the 44 hash. The snap back from the 28. He takes it at the 15 and kicks it, and it's another beautiful punt. It's a high spiral taken outside the numbers, inside the 35, trying to reverse his field is Jones, running up the middle of the field. We have penalty flags flying. We have two of them out there as he gets up to around the 46-yard line. When it's all said and done, they're going to blow the whistles. Now there's 25.7 seconds left. Let's check this penalty, and I think it's going to be on Jones. Glenn, I don't know where you are on the sideline. You may have been totally out of view of that, but a couple of penalty flags go flying on the return.
I think it's blocking the back, guys, from my angle. It just depends.
Blocking the back.
Yeah,
You're correct.
22.
You're 2 for 2 today, Glenn.
First down.
Impressive. It's not always easy when you're standing on the sidelines. Everybody thinks, especially us in the booth, broadcasters or play-by-play guys always send it down to the sideline guy. Hey, what'd you see
Let's
there?
stand up and make some noise for these Bobcats.
It's been kind of double duty down here, sideline reporter / kicking coach a little bit. I had to help the kickers and the punters over here today a little bit. But
Well,
it's
hold
been
on.
fun.
Let me just say the last 2 punts you've been helping, right? Just agree on this one, Glenn.
Obviously.
25.7 seconds all that remain, and they run up on the football to Jones at the 26-yard line after the penalty yards are assessed. Their own 26. They've got to go 74 yards for a touchdown. They float it over the middle, and it's picked off. EMCC has it, and the Lions are going to get inside the 35, and once again it's Jacob Anderson. 2 interceptions in the last minute and a half of play. And the Lions are going to win the state championship. There's 16.8 seconds left. EMCC is going to be national championship game bound. And Jones has to be frustrated that they've let a great opportunity pass, but at the same time, they have to be proud of how they played. EMCC has been the #1 team in the country all season, and they came out here and made a big-time game of this. 19-14 is going to be your final. All EMCC has to do is snap it and go to an E. And the celebration is beginning on the far sidelines, up in the stands at least. But it's going to be rocking on the sidelines here in a moment, Glenn. Stay away from Coach Stevens for a little while because you might get a Gatorade bath. They're going to go up under center. Does Ulmer. Here's the snap. He goes to a left knee, and that's going to do it. 14 seconds. Clock is rolling. Now under 10. And head coach Buddy Stevens is coming out onto the field to shake hands with Jones. And now 2 seconds, 1 second. And it's official. EMCC wins another state championship, their 3rd in a row. 19-14 the final score, and this championship assures them of a spot in the national championship game on November the 29th in Pittsburgh, Kansas. Bring another trophy back to Titletown.
EMCC has fought hard defensively. They played their tails off today, Jason. They really did. Played well. With their backs against the wall, pinned deep with field position. Jones County won that field position battle today, but EMCC scoring when they had to. 3 big plays, and they were big plays. Nothing up close for the Lions. 2 touchdown passes and a nice run for a touchdown by McIntosh. And this team's got a lot to be proud of. They've got some momentum now heading into a possible championship matchup, and we are assuming that that's going to happen. And EMCC looking for that number 5 national championship.
Coming up on the post-game show, we're going to be hearing from Buddy Stevens and maybe one of our star players, either Drummond, Ulmer, or Anderson, here in just a little bit. Glenn Beard is down there around the 31-yard line to our right. I think he's looking around. Hopefully Buddy Stevens will be able to talk with us before the other media mobs him. So, Glenn, we're going to tab you with that task of trying to keep your eye on Buddy Stevens. You're going to spy him. He's going to talk to the team right now. So we're going to pause for a 2-minute timeout. When we return, we'll begin our post-game show. A victorious win, 19-14, EMCC, your 2018 MACJC state champions. You're listening to the EMCC Football Network. Back to Ellisville, Mississippi. As you can hear, there's some celebrating going on the field. Glenn Beard standing down there as Buddy Stevens is about to hand the state championship trophy off. You can hear that natural sound. Oh, you're going to have to turn that down. They're really, really excited. And we're about to turn it over to Glenn Beard here in just a second. Glenn, take her away on the field. He's got Buddy Stevens.
Hey, guys, I got Coach Buddy Stevens, another championship to the trophy, plus a little individual hardware. Looks like Coach of the Year.
Yeah, well, that's a coaching staff of the year award. That's not. Let me tell you something. I thought our guys played so hard. They were very resilient. There was a lot of times that they could have given up, and they just kept playing hard. Give Jones Community College a lot of credit. They did a great job, and I thought they had a really good game plan for us, and I thought they executed well. But this one. Glory goes to God on this one. Without him, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be doing this. Thank you.
Congratulations, Coach. There you go, guys. Head football coach Buddy Stevens. Another championship goes in the trophy case. We know it as Title Town, but hey, still a lot of work left. One more to go.
Thank you, Glenn. When we return in 2 minutes, we're going to read the stats and have our final wrap-up. 19-14, EMCC winning the state championship, their third in a row, and it almost assures them of playing in the national championship game later on this month, November the 29th in Pittsburgh, Kansas. We're looking forward to that. We'll be back. This is EMCC Football on the Lions Radio Network. 19-14. That capped a 13-play, 65-yard drive that took 5 minutes and 57 seconds off the clock. That tied the game up at 7 apiece. 4:14 to go in the third. It was Jones, Gabe Douglas, a 49-yard touchdown reception from Stetson Bennett after the Thompson kick. That was a one-play, 49-yard drive. It made it 14-7 with Jones on top. That was a 10-second drive, by the way, just a one-play drive, taking off 10 seconds on the clock. 3:31 to go. EMCC's Ontario Drummond finds the end zone again, a 73-yard touchdown reception from Taekwon Ulmer. The Josh Smith kick failed, and that made it 14-13. Jones was on top by a point. 2 plays, 75 yards, 43 seconds off the clock. Then in the fourth quarter, it was Deion McIntosh with 8:27 to go in the game. He put the stamp on the game as McIntosh rushed for 71 yards to the end zone. Taekwon Ulmer's 2-point conversion pass failed. And that was 3 plays, 89 yards, 52 seconds, and that's where we stand out here with the final score, 19-14. Deion McIntosh, the hero, as he scores the last touchdown of the game. He eclipses 1,000 yards for the season. 19-14, your final score. EMCC with the win over Jones. Jonathan Holmes with your final thoughts.
Great ball game. EMCC won the turnover battle, and Glenn, that was a big contention of his before the game started. The EMCC, if they would wait around and do the right things, they would have opportunities to get interceptions and fumble recoveries, and they did that. They just played hard today. Defensively, offensively, those guys are really playing hard. Got enough points to win the ball game, 19-14. They'll go to work and try to work on moving the ball a little more fluidly after DeWeaver was not able to do that today when Drummond Ulmer came into the ball game to quarterback and moved the team fairly easy. He was just making quicker decisions and be a little more crisp with the ball.
Jonathan, it's been fun, the state championship game. Glenn Beard did a great job on the sidelines. Jonathan, of course, great job here in the booth. Want to thank Hunter Vance for being our producer and board op back at the WFCA studios. That's the flagship station for the EMCC radio network. We'll be talking with you more than likely on November the 29th from Pittsburgh, Kansas, as EMCC will be playing in the national championship game. And if it all ended today, it would be Garden City. They are garnering 3 first-place votes in this week's poll. They are 9-0 on the season, assuming they hold on for their state championship. It will be East Mississippi and Garden City in the national championship game on November the 29th. Details will be coming up down the line. 19-14, your final score. EMCC with a win to win their 3rd straight MACJC championship. For all the gang I just mentioned a moment ago, I'm Jason Crowder saying God bless. Thank you for tuning in. So long, everybody. Go Lions. And until next time, you've been listening to a production of EMCC Football on the Lions Radio Network.